And good afternoon. We are live here in Copenhagen, Denmark for day 2 of the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championships. You are looking at a shot of the juniors. The junior boys are getting ready to take to the water, and it is a spectacular day. The qualifying rounds are over, and we are going to get straight to crowning a world champion in just moments. It's Drew with you, Bo Nixon calling action for you live, along with Candace Appleby in the studio. And ladies and gentlemen, it has been absolutely incredible day 1 here in Denmark. Back from 2017 was the first time we're here. We're back in 2024 in the home to country, Scandinavian capital of Copenhagen. We're so excited to be here. Bo, give us your thoughts on day 1.
Oh, day 1 was incredible amount of action. We saw a lot of the top paddlers take to the water, qualifying for the finals today in the tech racing. We're going to be crowning champions today, Drew, in this beautiful city of Copenhagen in Denmark. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Oh, it's been absolutely insane. And the beach, you saw a live shot of the beach there. That's one of 2 venues we'll be working from this entire week. And we'll be there again tomorrow for the relays. And then we come back to City Center, right downtown Copenhagen, right in front of everybody, for a lot more action still to come. But it's all about the junior boys today. You see them on the line right there, and there's some names to talk about here, Bo.
Yeah, there certainly are some big names coming up. We saw a few of the competitors in this junior boys compete yesterday in the open men's division as well. So a few of them doubling up in the different divisions. As we take a look at the race map today, obviously starting from the beach start, heading out to that first golden buoy turn. They're going to take a right-hand turn around that and then follow that course. 3 laps, 3-kilometer course, crowning a champion at the end of it.
Definitely. And don't forget about that beach run. That was a pivotal piece yesterday around that black flag there on the lower right-hand side of your screen. So the athletes have to dismount from their boards and then jump on the glide and jump back to their feet and make their way back out. So a very technical course. More buoys than we would usually see in a SUP technical race due to the venue. Bo, tell us about that.
Yeah, so no waves in the venue this year. We've got pretty much a flat water venue as we take a look at the names on screen. Final of the junior boys. So we've got some big names in here. People I'm looking forward to. Obviously, last year's champion, Wout Garou from France. He's going to be coming up in this. It's going to be great to see him. I've also got Cameron Carney, Bodie von Arman there, competing yesterday as well. So it's going to be a real... it's going to be it's a stacked final, as they all are.
Well, it is a final, and you can't forget the name. You got Nicola Rico from Italy, a Euro title sprints 2023 champion. You got Kotaro Miyahira from Japan, qualified for the men's final yesterday, so he's doubling up here, competing in the open and now in the juniors. He's one of the favorites to watch from Japan. You see him there dead center on your screen. You mentioned Bodie von Arman from Team USA from Oregon, so he's very familiar with flat water conditions, so that's one that you have to watch. Very active paddler. This is why he came sitting on that 404 board dead center of your screen. The other one to watch out for, Asger Schmidt from Denmark. Tell us about him.
Yeah, Asger Schmidt. So the local here, Danish sprint SUP champion, a really young talent coming out of Denmark, training a lot with Casper. I know he's definitely the kind of coach for Asger, but it's fantastic to see him competing here today. I think he's going to stick it to the top guys.
Well, he is interesting story behind Asger. You know, he was kind of playing video game kid for the longest time in the basement. Mom and Dad said, no, we're not going to do that. You're going to get out and do something. He started training with the boys, and now he's competing at the top level in stand-up paddle. So, you know, get your kids out in front of the video games and get them on the water. That's what that means.
That's it.
Another name you can't forget is Fabrizio Rondinera from Argentina. He podium in his last junior competition. He's one to watch out for as well. And then our last one from Germany, Germany's been actually putting on a pretty good show here in the qualification rounds. Benjen Bosak from Germany, lives in the Netherlands, a very good paddler, another strong sort of competitor to look forward to in this contest. But a lot of great athletes here. This is the final. There is no qualifying rounds for the juniors. They're just going to go straight to the medal round. So we will be crowning one of these guys a world champion.
That's right, yeah. I was speaking to some of the people down on the beach after yesterday, and they said there were a lot of nerves down there. So the junior boys, some of them having not raced yet in this event, I think there's going to be a lot of nerves down there on the start line. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform. Obviously, the start is key. Getting out in front right at the start off the beach there is going to be the best chance of staying with that lead pack. So it's going to really all come down to that start.
Oh, I totally agree. And we just saw a shot there of Wout Garou from New Caledonia, the 2022-2023 junior champ, looking to bring it home again here in 2024. He was a Euro champion in 2023. Put on a lot of mass this year, Bo. You saw him on the start line there. I don't know if he's working out or just starting to come into his maturity of age, but also an excellent downwinder, but one to watch out for. And definitely is the one to beat in this contest.
He certainly is, coming off that win last year. He's going to be out in front to start with. You can, almost count on that. We'll obviously see the start. The races are lining up at the moment, but Vike, very strong paddler, obviously getting a little bit older with age as we see him on the start line, Drew.
Right there on the NSP. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're just moments away from start time here. It is, what time is it? It's 1:02 local time here in Copenhagen, Denmark, and we're getting ready to get underway with the men's juniors. Very flat course. We saw some onshore breeze coming in early this morning. The wind still is blowing directly in the athletes' faces. So that will make things a little interesting. Yesterday, it got slick out there. It was flat glass, and it was just a grinder. So I think the athletes are looking forward to maybe a little bit of wind for that little downwind leg coming out of buoy 4.
Yeah, that's true. I think they're going to want those few bumps on the water there. Obviously, that beach run is going to come into play with their boards as well in the wind. As it looks like we're going to get a start here for the Junior Boys Tech Race Final.
Let's do it. Here we go. We're under starters orders. Everybody's looking around. And I tell you what, the Argentine, I love the hair right there on the far left-hand side of your screen. I tell you got to like that.
Fabrizio there.
Yeah, Fabrizio definitely using the hair product. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Fabrizio on the flying fish on the inside, but it is Vajek up to his feet early on in this whole shot, but it is a fair start. A little bit of trouble for a couple of athletes coming right out of the gate on the glide, but they are all bunched up, and there is Vajek charging hard on the right-hand paddle stroke.
Yeah, Vajek there. He's a little bit behind at the moment. We've got another couple of competitors out in front. Looks like Asger's out in the top pack there as well. It's going to be a really tough race to get to that golden buoy turn there. As we see our competitors here on screen, we'll get an update. But a great start from a lot of these competitors, out fast from the gates. That is exactly how you want to start this Tech Final.
Yeah, and you start to see them start to verge their way in, going into that whole shot buoy. A beautiful drone shot here as our Junior Boys Final underway. 3 laps, ladies and gentlemen, in this contest as they start making their way down the line. Now they'll start settling in. Here is the whole shot buoy just about 20 meters away. They'll make a right-hand shoulder turn, Bo, and this could be critical. This particular turn, especially when you're all bunched up. We saw a lot of issues yesterday as the athletes came around that can.
Yeah, we certainly do. You can see there's about 4, 5, 6 competitors there in the middle of the field. They're going to all converge together on this buoy turn. As we see competitors just taking it easy to start with on that first turn there. Nice controlled paddle strokes and turns from all competitors so far. See Vajek there kind of in the middle of the pack at the moment.
And now stretching their way out as they come back into buoy turn number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, this is it. SUP Technical will have the girls coming up next, the girls finals, the SUP juniors. We'll talk about them as well as we bring in the prone. Let's take a look at this start here, Bo, as they had a nice clean start. Everybody hits the water at the same time. Nice glide, everybody up to their feet almost at the same time and hard on the stroke. And you see a little trouble there. Back 2 riders.
I think they just got their fin caught. They jumped on a little bit too early at the start there, but we can update you now on who's out in front. That is our competitor from Italy.
We talked about
him.
Nicola Rico. He won the Euro title in the sprints in 2023 and definitely one to look out for. Taking a look over his left-hand shoulder there. So good start for Nicola coming out of that whole shot buoy. Now coming into the Volkswagen inside buoy. Beautiful overhead shot there. Nicola, backside turn, not giving any kind of a gap to number 2 and 3.
Yeah, so number 2, Nikolai from Greece on that infinity board. So he's up there.
Oh, and
competitor come off there.
112 going to come down. That is Asger Schmidt. Huge break for him. Got back up quickly, though. So the nice thing about this buoy turn is you can actually touch bottom. You're not swimming. So he saw him just hit the ground and bounce right back up. So huge break there for him. He did lose a couple of places, but Asger's going to have to hit the gas and come back in. So look at that. The beautiful Copenhagen, Denmark. Ladies and gentlemen, the capital of Denmark. It has been an absolute pleasure to be here, and it's still a lot of action still to come as our athletes make their way around can number 3. And starting to stretch out here, Bo.
Yeah, they are. So as they come into this beach flag run, they start to get on the longer sections between buoy turns. So they'll start to spread themselves out a little bit You can see competitors really trying to make a go at getting in front here at the moment. They really want to stay with that lead pack, especially with Nicolo in front at the moment, the Italian on the starboard.
He's got to be happy with that start. I mean, that was an epic, epic start. Now around the beach run, the Italian around free and clear, the Puerto Rican just behind him, and making their way all the way through. Ladies and gentlemen, you see this beach run area, they'll carry their boards. Candace was pointing that out yesterday. I think it's a good thing to point, is how everybody grabs their boards differently. You see some just grab a handle and drag it around like that. Some cradle it like a suitcase. And there is the situation right now. Nicola Rico from Italy out in front in the current situation, breaking it all the way down. Looks like Von Allman from Team USA sitting in 9th. The German Bosak sitting in 10th. Carney sitting in 11th. And we'll show the top 5 for you here as they drag their way across. But still, it's anybody's race. It's still early in this contest, lap number 1, with 3 laps still to go. And there goes a Fabrizio from Argentina making his way back out on the Flying Fish. So this buoy turn with the current conditions, you'll see them kind of take a little bit more of an aggressive approach from this next buoy turn on as they really start to stretch out. Now you're seeing a pack of 4 break away, but they can't let them go. You got to stay within striking distance, Bo.
Yeah, you do. You really have to stay with that lead pack there. Nicolo out in front, then Luis from Spain in that 2nd place at the moment. So those 2 competitors are going to look to stay very close to each other as they move on through. And of course, you've got Nikolai as well from Greece.
Nice backside turn as they make their way back around. Lap number 1, ladies and gentlemen, junior boys sub-technical, just 5 minutes, 23 seconds. We should see them come in around the 20-minute mark or so. This is cool. Why don't you tell us what this is?
Yeah, so this is our live tracking at the moment. So all the athletes have a tracker on them. We are able to follow them around the course, see exactly their position as they are moving through. So you'll be able to see the country and also their bib number, so you can kind of reference that to the start list on ISAsurf.org. If you are tuning in there, you can find out all the information on the athletes. Take a look at who is on the start list today as well, and exactly where they are on the field. I think it's a fantastic addition.
It is cool. It is really cool. So there it is, the situation right now. You got Italy out in front. France currently in 2nd, Vallette Garou. And then in Spain in 3rd is what it's showing. Luis Parati from Spain currently sitting in that 3rd place position as they really start to stretch the field out. You see our judges' boat up there. Those are our officials. They're watching for any kind of obstruction. We saw a couple of fouls called yesterday, which are minute penalties, Bo. We had like 4 or 5 of them yesterday, and definitely the athletes are taking that in consent when they go in those buoy turns and not trying to converge.
Definitely. I think there was a bit of talk around yesterday as well once those penalties were handed out, just about the rules, the clarification around those rules as well. So if you are impeding progress, if you have more than half a board length's distance in front of the competitor behind you, you do have priority going into that buoy turn. As we see competitors there getting around cleanly.
Yeah, this is it, stretching out to 3rd. So there is your top 4, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if the crew will throw the order up on screen right now. There goes the rest of our competitors around. Nice backside turn by the 404 rider coming out of that buoy turn. You see how tight they're getting. They're just knocking that ISA surf buoy all around. 3 wide going into that turn, and you see them up and almost going over.
So yeah, definitely a bit of contact happening there.
That buoy turn, keep an eye on that buoy all day long. That northernmost buoy, I'll tell you, that's where all the action is as our paddlers start to come into view with that last turn. So take a look there. The Italian up and around, nicely done there. Cutting it nice and tight. There goes Team Italy, currently sitting in 2nd. And now a challenge on the NSP to the Sonova for the 3rd place spot. So those top 4 are really starting to pull away, Bo.
Yeah, they really are now. So they really start to get a bit of a lead pack happening. They really got that separation on those longer distances between buoy turns at the back on that distance stretch there. So there we see Asger Smith there on the right-hand side of screen.
Had a fall early on. He's trying to make up for it as he went down there in buoy number 2. So he's got some making up to do, and they're going to have to turn on the horsepower and stay within striking distance of that lead pack. There is your lead 4. Now coming back into your living room, 8:21 as they start to make their way in. And look at this, a huge sprint now made.
Luis from Spain. So
going to
he's out
make
in
it.
front at the moment.
Look at him going hard on the left-hand stroke on that really narrow SIC board, and he's really starting to pull away, coming in hard to that inside line.
Actually, Drew, this is Kotaro from Japan.
We talked about him earlier. You're right. Good call on that. We talked about him as being one of the favorites, and that is kind of that's their mission. Their mission is to break away. That's the Shrimpy mission from last year.
Oh, and also
they try to stretch away and break away from the pack, so there is no conference.
Also, his mission from yesterday as well. He said that there's no holding back when he's competing in the open men's. He's going for a medal in the men's technical race. He's in front at the moment by a good lead, 10 seconds in front of Rico there. So, and then obviously Vike in third. And then we've got Lewis in fourth from Spain. Asger in fifth at the moment, so he's doing well to keep up. He needs to really push hard on this stretch after that beach flag turn to catch up to that lead pack. This is where you can really make some damage and get yourself up into that lead pack.
Nikolai Rico not out of the situation here. He's in striking distance. Had a nice lead there, but this is, you got to think about Vajek in this position. This is typical of his brother, and he trains with his brother all the time. And he's always kind of just hanging right in there, and watch for him in those last two buoy turns to strike. But I'll tell you what, you got to keep an eye on him. You can't let Katara get too far out.
This is what we saw yesterday as well. The leader going into that first buoy turn doesn't necessarily end up winning the race. So Katara there, a bit further back in the field when he started off the line, but now really creating some separation, a lot of distance between first and second at the moment. If Katara can keep up this pace along this, he's really going to get it.
Look at his cadence. He's got about a half to three-quarters of a stroke faster cadence than the rest of the field. And, I got to ask you this, Bo. I mean, Kataro actually competed yesterday in the Open. Did that prep him and give him a little bit of maybe institutional knowledge going into today?
Definitely. As I mentioned before, there was some nerves yesterday. Katara actually, doing the course twice yesterday, has a really good knowledge of it. He's been paddling in the conditions already, so he understands that. The other paddlers behind him, they didn't paddle in competition yesterday. They're obviously out in the course practicing, but, Kataro having that inside knowledge, I think, is definitely helping him today in the race as he's putting in some powerful strokes. He's going to keep that lead. He wants to keep that lead all the way through, but obviously anything can happen coming into the final lap shortly.
11-second lead over second place. That's France on the left and Spain on the right. Italy dead center, on the far right now as they start stretching three wide. And that is Team Japan. Kotaro Nira. And he's coming right into the living room. And I'll tell you what, everybody picked him. They said he is one to watch. Watch him and look at his paddle stroke. He's kind of got the Connor Baxter type paddle stroke.
You can see, his bottom hand there is so close down toward the blade. So getting lots of leverage, lots of power out of that stroke.
Nice buoy turn.
Yeah, really nice buoy turn. Very right to Gucci-esque.
Very much so. All Team Japan actually, their buoy turns are just exquisite. I mean, they're so technical, so quick. They drop to the back of the board, one stroke, shooting out of the hole like you wouldn't believe. But now the fight seems to be for second place as they come into this buoy turn.
Yeah, so you see Nicola there, just got that inside track there. So he's able to get that priority coming into that buoy turn. And as we see Vajek as well.
Vajek's not out of this. This group is still in the mix, but they got to reel in Team Japan as they come through. As we take a look at the live shot, we're in lap number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, on the completion here, going into lap number 3 of this junior boys final. One of these will be a world champ coming up this afternoon. And now on the backside turn, nice job by Kotaro from Japan. Look at that. SIC just ripping through the water right now. And here comes the rest of the group. Definitely off stroke cadence.
You can tell just Kataro's stroke cadence is so much quicker, so much higher than these paddlers here. They're trying to just stay together, I think. They want to maybe try and make a move toward Kotaro, but definitely a little bit slower as well. So as they come around this buoy turn, very controlled, nicely done from all three competitors there. I tell you what, I'm impressed to see Asger still up in the mix as well. He's just behind in 5th position.
Yeah, he's just off the podium right now. He's got to make a move right now to get in medal contention. And now look at this. Team Japan stretching their lead even further now. About 12-second lead right now. So he's inching each and every buoy turn. He's gaining a second or two, Bo, as he starts to go in for that beach run.
Yeah, Kotaro yesterday did the course in about 19 minutes, 14 seconds or so. So we'll see how he comes in today. But I think he's on track to kind of match that time, which is super fast. So he's doing almost 10 kilometers an hour paddling there as he comes in for the beach flag turn here, lifting up the board, getting around. He's got to make a quick start as he gets back in. Fantastic control there, straight back on his board. As we see the next competitors here. Still looks like we have Nicolo from Italy in that second place. Vike there right behind him, trying to defend his gold medal from last year in France.
And they come into the beach. 22-second lead now by Team Japan as they come around. And now Vajek dropping into 4th position. This is very unfamiliar territory for him. This is lap number 3. He's going to have to put the gas down and start reeling him in, or else this thing is just going to be a runaway. So there is the current situation. If you're following from home on ISAsurf.org, you can jump on our website and follow the action live. And you see the course. Everybody's sort of spread out there. There's your lead 4 kind of going into that inside buoy turn. And this is lap number 4, the beach run. Here comes Asker. Going to come in for that beach run around that ISA World Championship buoy. And there is the current situation on the bottom of the screen. Look at the length on this kid. As soon as he grows into his body, he's going to be a monster. So watch out for him for sure. And there is our Fabrizio Rondemera from Argentina, trying to get his spot, get on that junior podium. Remember, we're going to medal at the top 4, so that's how it works here at the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championships. Day 2, ladies and gentlemen, of action. And a lot of smiles going out there. Team Canada coming around. Big smile for him. But, Bo, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, it's been a shame to see Nikolai Malikakis there from Greece. He was up in that lead pack to start with on the first lap. He's fallen back to 9th place at the moment. So hopefully he can do a little bit more in this last lap to find his way up a little bit.
It's a very fast course. There was a course adjustment. I do want to point that out. There was a slight course adjustment this morning, which shortened it up just about 2 or 3 kilometers. So we should see a little bit faster time today as we go through the line. But there, everybody around that beach run. That beach run really hasn't proven to be too complicated as long as it didn't get too congested in that area. And you're seeing our athletes handle it very, very well. And there's a live shot in case you want to go to Sweden. You just jump on that bridge. You'll be right there. Hopefully you know it. And they're showing us this is the current situation with the technical race. As you see, we added a few more buoys than you would have seen in past events.
Yeah, that's right. So competitors right now kind of on that outside between 4 and 5 buoys on that kind of distance stretch out the back there. Kataro probably coming back in toward number 6 already now. Here, as you can see him on screen, he is making his way back in toward number 6 buoy turn. He's only got 2 buoy turns left, Drew.
That's it.
The final lap. He's well out in front at the moment.
And I'll tell you what, if he holds on, we will have a new world champion here at the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championships in Denmark. And a beautiful turn there by Miha Hira as he comes along hard on the left-hand stroke. And you know he's looking out his left-hand door right now, seeing second place is a ways back.
Oh, we could see Vajek there making a huge push to get to the inside for this buoy turn to get into second spot. That is with Luis from Spain.
You got to be careful there. You got to be careful there, Bo. He tried to edge him out. That could be a penalty.
That's right. So Nicolo there now down into 4th place. Vajek in 3rd. Luis from Spain in 2nd. Here we are, the leader of the Junior Boys Tech Race for the SUP. Kotaro Mihara.
Running away with it, Bo. Just running away with it. Give Team Japan a round of applause. It's Kotaro Mihahira from Japan. Grabs the flag and goes across the finish line. There is your new world champion here in Denmark.
Look at the time, Drew. 17 minutes, 34 seconds. A lot quicker than yesterday, what we saw. So 2nd place coming in. It does look like we have our Spanish competitor, Luis, now up into 2nd place.
He'll grab the flag, come across the line there, just 19 seconds. And will it be Vajek? Yes, it'll be Vajek Guerrero.
And the copper medal goes to Nicola Rico from Italy.
There's your podium, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to all those folks. Vajek looks a little upset there, but give it to Team Japan. He just hit the gas there in lap number 2 and ran away with it, Bo.
Yeah, he certainly did. Team Japan there celebrating. Very happy. So this is your very first gold medalist crowned for the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. Kotaro Miyahira from Japan, as we see Asuka Smith coming in here, looking to secure 5th position.
Just off the medal, just off the podium, just missed it.
But
the
good,
young man.
Good showing from Denmark already in this first race.
The local boy from right here in Copenhagen, Denmark. The only competitor from Copenhagen competing in this year's ISA World Championship. He'll come across the finish line. Good finish for him, just 1:12 off the pace. Followed up by Fabrizio Rondinera from Argentina.
Bodie von Arman from the USA,
Yep.
Crossing the line there in 6th place. We have Max Schreier from the Netherlands, another strong paddler. Bosak from Germany in 8th place. But those 4 paddlers in the front of the pack there, they were ahead of the rest of the field from lap 1. Really.
It was interesting to see. Usually you wait till lap number 3 to turn it on, and you saw Miyahira just turn it on in the middle of lap number 1. I mean, he just hit the gas. It's like, I'd really like to know, hopefully we can get an interview from Emily and know exactly when he knew to just turn on the gas and try to break away from the pack.
Yeah, I think
it seemed very strategic.
And that's it. Maybe he's just testing his strategy for the men's tech race later on today for the final as well.
Up.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
He's going to come back and compete in the men's open. So there you go. Another one of our paddlers coming across.
Yeah, João Newman.
João Newman from Brazil. Brazil's looking pretty good this year.
Yeah, very strong team. These competitors just stoked to be representing their country here at the ISA. Fantastic opportunity for them to mix it with the best on the world stage. A young English competitor crossing the line.
So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The men's junior SUP technical is in the books. It's all Team Japan in that one. I'll tell you, it looked very, very familiar from a young man by the name of Shuri Araki from 2023. Did the exact same thing, and he trains them. Let's look at the start here, Bo.
Yeah, so off the start line there, so a lot of paddlers getting a great start. You can see them all converging there at the start. We had our Italian out in front, Nicolo Rico there for quite some time. You can see Kotaro there, maybe in 4th position, 5th position at the moment. So he really started to hit the gas here. He's in 2nd place coming around this flag turn, and this is where he just steps on the gas and gets well ahead of all of his competitors there. So this top 4 really held those positions throughout the whole race.
And you saw him really pick up the canes here, starting to make a challenge here in lap number 1. And that is the spot right there. This is right in the coming to a close in lap number 1. He puts his head down and really started to stretch his lead.
I think he just bided his time. He knew he was in that kind of leading pack. He just wanted to wait to have an opportunity where he was clear of other paddlers to make his move, so there wasn't going to get caught in those buoy turns, as we saw a few of the other competitors did.
And he just kept opening it up, seconds and seconds. And then it was basically a fight for 2nd place between the Spaniard, the Frenchman, as they went back and forth the entire time. But it was all Miyahira as he made his way back in, grabs that Japanese flag from his coach, Coach Suzuki, and runs across the finish line with a blistering pace of 17 minutes.
34 seconds. That is just such a fast time. We didn't see that at all yesterday. It was all up in the 19, 20-minute mark. Luis Perotti there from Spain.
There's going to be some blistering times today. These are going to go really, really, really fast the way that course is set here today. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. As you see, the Frenchman, Garou, very upset maybe with that finish, but he still will get on the podium with a bronze medal. So there is the unofficial standings on the screen right now. It was all Japan 17:33, and you saw almost a 30-second lead over 2nd place, the Spaniard Luis, followed by Guru and the rest of the field. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go down beachside right now with Emily and get an update from our winner. Take it away, Emily.
Yeah? No, he's the man. No?
You stay here?
Emily, you got us.
Thank you, guys. I am here with the new junior world champion. You told me yesterday right here that tomorrow you're going to become junior world champion. And now you are. Congratulations. Can you just say a few words about what you're feeling right now?
おめでとうございます。昨日この場で明日チャンピオンになるという宣言をして今日勝ちました。 で、見事にチャンピオンになったんですけれど、ここで一言お願いします。
まあ、沖縄の座見島という島で練習してきて、まあ、今年は絶対ジュニア ISA でジュニアチャンピオンになるって決めて1年間練習してきて、まあ、それが、まあ、練習の成果が出て、ジュニアチャンピオンになれて、とても嬉しいです。
He's so happy. He came from Zamami Island, which is a tropical small island in Japan, and his annual objective was to become ISA junior champion, and he made it, and he's so happy.
Well, that's great to hear, and congratulations again. And I also know you're competing later in the men's. Yesterday you also told me that you want to take home 3 gold medals on this event. So what is your goal now? Are you going to celebrate a little bit, or are you just focused on the next heat?
この後メンズクラスでもレースに出ますし、その後3つメダル取りたいっていう話をしてましたけれど、今この後っていうのはリラックスするのか、次のレースに向けて集中するのか、どっちですか？
まあ、次はもう、体力をまたゼロに戻して、オープンクラスでも、いい成績を残せるように頑張りたいです。
He will recover first, and then do his best on a men's class. That's his what he's going to do right now.
And just to talking about recovery, what do you do in between these heats and a long day of competing to get ready for the next one?
長い一日のうちで、ここでリカバリーするっていうと、どんなことをしますか？
まず時間が空くので、これから、まず軽い軽食をとって、でその後にストレッチとか、時間があればちょっと寝たり、体力を戻すために今から頑張ります。
He still have time until the next heat. He's gonna eat a little bit and then stretch and then maybe sleep a little bit if he has enough time. And then do whatever is necessary to do best in the next race.
Well, congratulations. You are the junior world champion. What a great achievement. Is there a few words that you would like to say to people watching at home?
地元の皆さんに一言どうぞ。
1位になれました。ザワミ帰って、まずはちょっとゆっくり休んで、パーティーしたいです。肉用意しといてください。
Thank you so much.
おめでとうございます。ありがとうございます。バイバイ。
A very, very happy Kotaro Miyahara from Team Japan there. And Team Japan taking home some valuable team points early on in this week.
Yeah, they said he looks so focused for the men's race as well this afternoon there. So I think he's really going to put a lot of energy back into that too.
Well, coming up, ladies and gentlemen, it's the SUP Technical Girls Final. So we will crown a girls world champion in just a couple of moments. You're taking a live look at the pier. Lots of action still to come here at ISAsurf.org. Stay tuned. More action coming up.
I Rema 1000 handler sundhed ikke kun om mad, men også om at bakke op om trivsel, fællesskaber og mental sundhed.
Morning. Can we ride to school with you? My dad's lost his car keys.
Our parents overslept. I've got a flat tyre.
Yeah, sure. Morning. Could I ride with you? My driveway is totally blocked. Yeah, sure.
More space for joy. The ID Buzz GTX with up to 7 seats.
Volkswagen.
Day number 2 of the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship here in Copenhagen, Denmark. We're in finals day for the tech racing. Junior Girls Pro Tech race coming up now for the final. My name is Bo Nixon, joined in the booth now by Candice Appleby. Candice, are you excited for this race?
I'm really excited for this race. We've got Soren Preston from the United States right there on the screen. She is really hungry for gold. She got a silver last year in France. She had a bronze the year previously in Puerto Rico. And she's going up against a 2-time world champion, Cecilia, from Italy. So this is going to be a really great final for these young ladies. I remember last year in France, Soren was leading the race and Cecilia caught a wave and caught up to her. So I know that them, along with the rest of the competitors, are going to be giving their best efforts. Everybody wants the gold. We've got some new competitors from Japan and other countries as well. Here's your lineup for this final, and it's going to be really exciting. This is the next crop that we will see eventually in the women's field.
Yeah, that's right. I'm also really excited to see Kiara Jade Vorster from South Africa. She's been doing really well in European events this year. And also Gilad Koshis from Hungary. She put in a great performance last year in 2023. So she's back Hungary again to compete for a medal this year. As the girls are just getting lined up on the start line. Do you think they'll be taking notes from the previous boys final that we watched just before, Candice?
Yeah, definitely. It's always a benefit to be the second heat of the day, not the first heat of the day. And they're definitely taking notes and paying attention to the conditions. And looks like they've got some great conditions out there today. So.
Yeah, so the wind looks a little bit lighter than yesterday morning or the kind of afternoon when we started. So conditions really nice. Really going to have to get a good start off the line to be able to keep up with that lead pack to start with. And I think it's just going to really be a fantastic race. Big names this year in the junior girls tech race. You see them just kind of feeling the water out a little bit. Candice, what's kind of your pre-heat or final routine?
You know, looks like they've got their spots on the line already. My routine is I I make sure there's nothing in front of my path. If it's hot out, I'll put a little water on my head. Make sure my paddle isn't slippery from any sunscreen. I have all my little nervous twitches that I do before a race. And then usually I'll sing some songs, actually. I'll be singing on the start line. If I'm relaxed and confident, then I'm singing songs before the race.
What songs do you sing?
I usually am singing some sort of a worship song.
Oh, nice. Excellent. That sounds fantastic. Great way to prepare for a race. We've got the junior girls lining up there, starting to stretch a little bit. We see all the competitors there fired up, bit of nerves around. We are going to be crowning a champion today for this race and for all the races in the technical race. Got the prone coming up later on today, as well as the men's and women's SUP Tech final.
I mean, and look at these girls. You know, there's such a range of maturity in the junior girls, right? You have some really young, 13-year-olds, and then Cecilia, she's 18. This is going to be her last year, so you know that she wants to take another title. It's her last opportunity. She didn't compete yesterday in the women's, so she's fresh. She's going up against, Soren, who did 2 heats yesterday, and there she is right there, our defending 2-time gold medalist. So she looks like she's in her zone, ready to go. She's had a great summer competing in Europe, competing against the women, some of the fastest women in the world. And she has a lot of experience in sprinting and technical racing and distance. So you can definitely expect to see her really hot off the start, vying for that first position to the buoy. She's somebody who's going to try to be out in front from the beginning to the end. That's going to be the strategy there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned that Cecilia there, one of the oldest competitors in this junior girls race. Still all very young, but we've also got one of the youngest competitors, Marit Miedma from the Netherlands. 12 years old, Candice.
Yeah.
On the start line.
Wow. And you can see some different selection in start line positions today. Cecilia's more on the right side of the start line, which is closer to what's called the hole shot towards the buoy. There's not as much of that north wind this morning. So a lot of the competitors that had the higher seeds were lining up on the farther left side of the start line, and you're going to see it's a little bit different today. Not playing so much with that wind.
That's right, yeah, exactly. The wind a little bit lighter. Maybe the wind coming a bit more from the east, so directly straight onto the shoreline. So competitors opting to choose a different line to head out to that first buoy turn. So we have a fantastic drone shot of the beautiful city of Copenhagen here in Denmark, the host for the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. Such an incredible city. We've been exploring a little bit on foot. Lots of people on bikes as well, getting around. Very clean, sustainable city. It's great to be back here. We were back here in 2017, so 7 years ago, and then we get the opportunity to be back here again.
And that drone shot that you could see before, you could see some of the photographers and people standing waist deep in the water by the buoys. So that gives you a good perspective of the depth. So they're going to be running into, pretty shallow water. So they're going to want to clear the fin and get a nice skim off the start line. You can see the cameraman with the yellow shirt. He's in about a thigh deep water. So it's going to be interesting to see how far they run with their boards into the water and how quickly they get onto a skim. And here they are. They're getting ready. We know their hearts are pounding. They're so excited. I know, my heart's hard. Maybe that's all the coffee I had this morning. I'm not sure.
But yeah, here we are, junior girls SUP tech race on the start line, under starters orders. We'll see them hit the water shortly, crowning our medalists today. And they're away, Candice.
There they are with a nice, clean start to skim. And you can see Cecilia is so fast, she's out of frame quickly. She is getting out quickly, and right next to her, we have a rider on an infinity board and then an NSP, so they're working hard. And then on the far left of the screen, the top of the screen, you can see Soren Preston from the United States.
Yeah, she had a great start as well. So out there with the leaders at the moment. You can see our competitors, they're starting to move together. A little bit of contact between boards as well. So making their way out to that first buoy turn. They're going to make a right-hand turn, head back in toward the beach. As we've got a lot of competitors up there. Obviously, Cecilia up in the lead at the moment. We've also got our Spanish competitor there.
And we've got 3 paddlers about 3-4 side by side coming into this first turn. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens here. Cecilia does have the whole position. So looks like she is going to be the first one to get there. We'll see.
Yeah, it could be Ines Blin as well from France.
They want to have a nice, clean start. And it looks like things are getting a little bit congested already. There's so much water moving. You can see the paddlers that right behind that front pack. Lots of little wobbles from side to side and utilizing what I call hula hips in the turbulence. And there's a little bit of congestion there around that first buoy. Looks like everyone's staying upright and nice and clean. You want to have a nice, clean race. You got to race smart, race tough, but you also got to race clean. You don't want to have any sort of infraction or impede anyone else's progress. And right now, out in front,
yeah, a lot of competitors there. Yeah, so a lot of, right now out in front, that's going to be our Spanish competitor, Alexia Soto.
And it looks like she's separating. She's got a few board lengths ahead from this perspective. She has a really nice rhythmic stroke. She's not just taking lots of strokes. She's taking some really good quality strokes. Really nice technique there. Getting a nice far reach, being patient with her time in the water with the blade. Really strong leg position. Really nice down power. Coming into this second turn here.
Line there as well, coming into this. As we see Chile there, just falling back into third position at the moment. But we see our competitors here. So that is Alexia out in front at the moment. Coming into this buoy turn. Really controlled around there. Fantastic.
And second place, our paddler from Hungary.
So as we see a little bit of congestion there, a little bit of a kind of a stop-start there from our competitors. You can see the different stances each of the girls have, either goofy or regular foot coming in for the turn.
It's a nice front side pivot turn there. So currently in first position, we have Alexia Soto from Spain, followed by Csillag Kocic from Hungary. This is going to be a little bit interesting turn. Ooh,
Oh, Csillag just goes down on that buoy turn.
It's going to cost her a position, and that was a really, really tight turn. Allowing Cecilia to get up into that second place. It takes a lot out of your body to fall off your board and climb back on. Looks like Csillag is now in third position, and Soren's worked her way up from fifth to fourth.
Yeah, it's allowed Alexia to get a little bit of space, a bit of distance in front, currently in the lead.
And what happens when you get that disconnect from second place, she can close the chain for a draft pack, but now it allows our first place paddler Alexia to have a little bit of space to potentially break away from the pack. But this is going to be really important here. So being quick around that flag and getting back on your board quickly and having a nice effective skim is going to really be helpful.
As we see on screen now, you can see the places of these athletes. So Soren Preston up there in fourth position at the moment. And then Ines Blin just falling a little bit behind. She was out in front toward that first buoy turn, but just falling back a little bit off the pace in sixth place at the moment. 17 seconds behind our leader Alexia.
And these boards are big. These boards are heavy, and these are young women. They're using the same type of boards as the men's division, right? So they're heavy, they're big, they're large, they're hard to pick up and get around this buoy. You know, these young ladies have been practicing their transitions off their board, running up the beach, back around the flag. It takes a lot out of your body to do that mid-race and then hop back onto your feet and get back into your stroke.
Yeah, definitely spending a lot of time on the board as well. Your legs kind of can feel a little bit stagnant, and then hitting the beach, you kind of have to get them moving again. So it's always a bit of a transition going into that beach run. As we see Alexia there, nice controlled. Cecilia Pampanea just behind her. Csillag Kocic.
This is that backstretch where you really can put in a lot of strength into your stroke and try to catch up and move positions.
Yeah, we saw Kotaro Miyahira in the last junior boys create a lot of distance.
Ooh, we had a little wipe out there.
Just getting on the heels a little bit too much with her weight, falling back. At least she stayed on the board. Quick recovery. So able to keep that position for her. But they're going to really start to stretch out, start to fall into a bit of a rhythm here. Those buoy turns at the start of the course, quite tight. Not too much separation there, but now we'll start to see them move ahead.
Really nice technique from these young ladies. I see some really great paddling. We got Soren there. So she had a little separation. She got a little hung up on that last turn. The buoy kind of swung right into her for a moment there. But as we saw, she knows how to work her way from the back. She had a tough start yesterday in the women's semi, but was able to work her way back up through the pack. And it looks like Cecilia had a little bit of a fall there. So that's going to cost her just a little bit of time. That allowed Soren to catch up. Really nice buoy turn there from Soren. And now Cecilia is going to be just calming herself down, getting back into her rhythm. And you can see it looks like maybe on the inside, Soren's going to try to take advantage of that and really try to work her way around and get into a medal position.
I mean, let's talk about Csillag Kocic from Hungary for a second, because she's had that fall at the buoy, put her down itself into third place, but now moves back up into second, is trying to chase down Alexia out in front at the moment. So she's going to look to try and jump on the tail, get into a little bit of a draft there from our current leader in the junior girls SUP tech race final.
Really strong paddling from Csillag, representing Hungary, and exciting to see these new young faces. Nice turning there, really smart turning.
Cecilia now.
Cecilia going around the buoy. Soren right hot on her tail. So she's definitely not going to want to let her get away. Both of those young ladies fighting for that medal position right now.
Soren also competing later on today.
Yes, making the women's final. She's got a lot of work to do, and she'll be doing the distance race later on this week. Nice turning. Oh, one little fall there on the inside.
We see a board going over the other board there. So we'll catch up with the position shortly, but your current leader, Alexia Soto from Spain, out in front at the moment.
It does look like Chilog has been making up a little bit of ground on each one of these straightaways. Another slight fall there from her. And it's very shallow here, so at least they can hop right back onto their board. You can see Soren upping her rate to make sure Cecilia doesn't get away from her too far off that turn. Nice turn from our paddler from Germany, Skadi Lenba.
So yeah, Chillag there, another mistake. So falling, and Alexia just
really fast in the straightaways, but having a little bit of trouble with the finesse on some of her turns. And I think that our paddler from Hungary is taking advantage of that. She's catching up a little bit on each turn.
Maybe a bit of nerves coming into it now, into their second lap of this course.
What a great shot here you can see of the course here. Athletes moving in all different directions. Really neat to see the lines off their boards coming and so much movement. They're really moving through this course quickly.
Yeah, they certainly are. Still a lot of time left to be able to catch up, get into those medal positions.
And right here is where Chillag is going to be pressing hard, taking lots of hard strokes, knowing that, okay, I got to dismount my board, get back on quickly, and try to not let her get away from me.
That's right. So Chillag hoping for a nice clean transition there as she does. Straight back onto her board, nice and controlled. Cecilia Pampanella there in third position, but Soren right behind her. As you said, Candice, before, this next stretch of paddling between the buoys is where they can really start to create some space.
Yeah, coming around that outside turn, they have that real long straightaway. So you can see they're going to be all going stroke for stroke. I think that, you know, Cecilia and Soren are actually pressing that front pack a little bit. They are getting a little bit closer. You know that those two are competitors. They do not want to let the silver and gold medals out of their sight. You can see Soren inching above here by about half of a board length. You know that she wants to get to that next turn first. Working really hard. And you can see our paddler from Hungary is catching up. So she is going to try, I think, here to take advantage of the turn. We'll see where she ends up.
This competitor's rounding the flag there. That is Kiara Forster from South Africa. So Rebecca Klotz in 8th place at the moment. We saw her competing yesterday in the women's tech race.
You can really see the rate going up in Chilag's paddling right here. She's like, okay, I'm taking this inside line. It looks like she's really making her move now. Really, really hammering. And as her rate goes up, you can see the power, her down power is just really increasing. But her stroke is still really nice and long, really has a great reach. Exiting really quickly by her feet and recovering in a nice straight line. And this is an awesome graphic you can see here of what's happening with our racers. It looks like we might...
Yes, you do head over to ISAsurf.org. You can have access to the live tracking, the names of all the competitors as well. You can see their bib number and the country they are from, as we see Chillag and Alexia going into this buoy turn.
And this is a really a big positional change here. Chillag is taking over the first position almost stroke for stroke. She's had 2 falls and still been able to work her way up to this first position. So this race is not over. No. Alexia had a pretty solid lead for a while there, but she's been hunted down.
Yeah, she managed to get away after Chillag fell off the first time, but Alexia maybe hasn't had the fall, but just a bit wobbly on those buoy turns, so, which has allowed Chillag to catch up. Chillag, such a strong paddler, making their way in for this next buoy turn. She's now out in front, cleanly from Alexia.
And this might be her opportunity. If she can have a nice fast turn and get some quick strokes in, this would be her opportunity to try to get away. If she can get away within a board length and not allow anyone to draft her. And you can see her just being really smart with her paddling. Good quality strokes. It's not about how many strokes you take, it's about how far each stroke takes you.
That's true.
Nice clean turn there from Soren, and it looks like she's been able to have a little bit of a breakaway. She has about a board length ahead of Italy right now. So you know that she is not going to give up. She's going to continue hunting down that front pack. She did get kind of stuck on her start. It wasn't one of her best starts. She was in about 5th position going around that first buoy. So she's working her way up through the pack.
So you see your current heat leader, finals leader, Chilag Koshis from Hungary.
Really nice turn, really nice wide stance from both of these ladies.
We just saw there Alexia a little bit wobbly on that buoy turn. Maybe starting to feel the nerves now coming into their final lap here for the junior girls SUP tech race. Soren Preston in 3rd place.
Really nice turn, whipping around the buoy there. I know that some of the that NSP model has a little bit more of a rounded rail, so as you run up the board, it's gonna feel that little bit of a wobble is what we're seeing when she runs up. But what I like to tell people that I coach, trust the wobble. Just because it wobbles doesn't mean you're gonna fall.
No, it's that primary stability that's a little bit wobbly. It's the secondary stability kicks in with those high rails on those NSP boards.
Really beautiful paddling here. Great leg position, nice power triangle, clean entry. Nice fast changes. It's important to change sides fast. We lose board speed when we change sides, right? So quick changes are really important.
Chilag now, a couple of board lengths in front of Alexia Soto from Spain. Chilag on the final lap here is really going to try and create some distance, knowing she's in the lead, in contention for a gold medal here. So we'll see that time come up on screen as she rounds this flag run.
And this is their 3rd lap, so that's the final flag run. She has a pretty good lead. The amount of distance that Soren or Cecilia have to catch up is quite a big distance over the amount of time that they have left on this course. So the likelihood of getting into that first position is going to be a bit challenging.
25 seconds there behind.
Yeah, so it looks like we are probably going to have a new world champion, but we can't count anybody out.
That's true. Anything can happen in the last lap of this junior girls final.
That was a really beautiful run and skim from our German paddler.
Yeah, Skeeter there. So let's take a look at a replay from before during this final here as Chilag overtakes Alexia Soto from Spain to get herself in the gold medal contention. That buoy turn was important. You can see Chilag there just pushing Alexia kind of wide on that turn.
Yeah, and Chilag has her technique is, I'd say, very refined, especially for her age. It's really, really nice to see such quality strokes, quality turns. So, you know, a lot can happen on a start. There's a lot that shakes out through the course of a race, and you can really see that her form, her training is really coming through here. She looks like she's just comfortable out there, taking really quality strokes. She's not looking back. Paddling really, I mean, look at that lead that she's created.
Candace, she's had 2 falls during this race. How do you come back mentally after something like that's happened to take the lead?
Short-term memory.
Okay. Get it happen.
You can't think about it. You can't entertain any negativity. You can't entertain any bad ideas. You just shake it off. You know, you just gotta, you gotta bounce up. You gotta be like a cat. You know, you just fall right to your feet and get back up and keep going. Let it fuel you rather than let it hinder you. You gotta have a strong mental fortitude if you want to be a champion.
Looks like she's really starting to relish in that first place. That buoy turn really controlled, nice and strong. We see Alexia coming around as well in 2nd place. So she's going to have a bit of work to do to catch up to that gold medal position. She's currently sitting in silver medal position, but Chilag Koshis from Hungary out in front. There's another 2 buoy turns before we end the junior girls SUP tech race.
Yeah, at the pace that she's paddling right now, I'd say that it's hers, but you can't count anybody out. Looks like Soren there in 3rd position. So she's hungry for a medal. And all 3 of these girls they're all paddling on their own. There's no draft pack up in the front. And just really great paddling from all these young ladies.
Yeah, certainly. Chilag, she is a medalist in World Championships, 2023 silver and bronze, the ICF, and also a Hungarian champion, 8-time Hungarian champion in SUP.
She's making that new Ever Ready infinity board look really, really fast. It's neat to see the variety of boards that all of these paddlers are on, you know. It's really, really, really neat to see the shapes continue to evolve. They're getting narrower and narrower and narrower.
And here we are on the final stretch.
Paddlers do it, and here we have a world champion.
We do. Gold medalist for your junior girls SUP technical race. Chilag Koshis from Hungary making her way in at the moment. Alexia Soto in silver medal position. But Chilag paddling hard, knowing she's out in front. But she's going to cross the line with a big smile on her face as the gold medal champion here for the 2024 ISA Junior Girls SUP technical race. Congratulations, Chilag. Alexia had the lead for a good 2 laps.
She did. She looked so excited. Is this her first gold medal for Hungary?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
exciting.
right. So Alexia Soto there, crossing the line in 2nd. Still very happy with the silver medal place. Soren Preston.
Lots of emotions with these young ladies, as it should be. This is the World Championships. Way to go, Soren. She is fired up. She had to work hard for that. Look at that smile. Proud of you, kiddo. Way to go, so Soren.
Great team points for USA there.
And I know this is going to be a difficult result for Italy. She's a 2-time returning champion. Lots of pressure, knowing that it's her last year as a junior. I know that's not her finest result. She looks a little bit disappointed, but great showing. Still a 2-time world champion. And I'm sure there's some medals for her in her future on the women's side of things. France coming in 6th place. Congratulations. Lots of hugs at the finish line. These girls compete together in Europe throughout the summer.
Yeah, Chilag Koshis crossing the line, 19 minutes, 35 seconds. Very fast pace.
It's a blistering time. Our competitor from Japan. Getting some hugs from her supporters.
You see another competitor crossing the line there.
She looks a little bit like, I'm not sure if she got hit in the head, but
she did.
Yeah.
One of the buoy turns, there was
by a board, potentially.
Board.
Looks like she's going to be okay. We've got a great staff here. Make sure she'll get taken care of.
Exactly. So the junior girls SUP tech race coming to an end here. Hungary crossing the line in 1st place. Spain in 2nd. USA in 3rd. And Italy in 4th. So they will be your medalist positions.
19 minutes and 35 seconds. That's fast.
Very fast. Faster than the men's yesterday as well during their tech race semi-finals.
We've got some really nice calm conditions. And here's our replay. Really quick start from the former world champion. You can see a lot of congestion at that first turn. You want to make that first turn clean and get into a good position. And you can see Alexis had a really solid start. She was out in front for a lot of the race. And Chilag had this is where she had her fall right here. So she was neck and neck for that first position, and she had to work her way back from this fall.
Yeah, Cecilia managing to get up into 2nd place there. You can see Alexia Soto from Spain in front. Cecilia Pampanella there in 2nd, but Chilag made her way in front. And looks like Cecilia did fall off of that buoy turn as well, which gave Chilag the upper hand to get into 2nd place. And she just chased down Alexia throughout the whole race. Chilag, again, just on screen there, I saw she come off again, so maybe 3 times coming off her board
Yeah, and what a comeback from that, to have a few falls and be able to win in such a short distance of a race. This is where she made her move on that outside stretch.
Yeah, this boo
Nice
turn here.
turning here, and this is where she was able to overtake and get into that first position.
Gillette Cautious, a fantastic competitor. Going to be a name we're hearing a lot more of in the future of stand-up
Absolutely.
paddling. As we see her coming in to cross the line for her first gold medal.
Paddling as fast as she could. I love to see that, knowing that you have a gap. You know you're going to win, but still giving it every single ounce that you have to have the fastest time possible.
Yeah, so competitor from Spain, Alexia there crossing the line. Soren Preston in third. And we have Emily down on the beach there with the gold medalist from the Junior Girls Tech Final.
Celia, congratulations. You are the new Junior World Champion here in Denmark, Copenhagen. Just give us a few words about what you're feeling right now.
As you can see, I'm still trying to realize what just happened in the last 20 minutes, and it's just unreal. It's unbelievable that all those hard trainings, early rises, all the sacrifices me and my family made throughout this journey. And I feel like it's finally it was all worth it, and I'm just super happy to be here. I'm super grateful for my dad for all the support he is giving me in this week, and yeah, I'm so happy and so grateful for everyone who helped me achieve my dream, and also huge thanks to all my supporters, but of course mainly my family, because they are the one who, support me on the daily basis, and yeah, without them I wouldn't be standing here, and I'm happy to share this result with them, because it's not only mine, but I feel like it's ours, because really without them I wouldn't be standing here and giving this interview. So yeah, I'm super happy.
Well, that's amazing to hear, and I can see how much it really means to you. And just to take it back a little bit, what was happening out there on the race course, you were actually sitting in that second position for quite a while, and until you took that first position. Can you just talk us through the race a little bit?
Yeah, it seems like making best starts and falling in a technical race is kind of my usual things to do these days. I don't know. In Thailand, the same thing happened. I did a really best start and then eventually fall into the water. So, but at the end of the day, I came in first, so that what matters. And yeah, it was up and downs the whole way. Yeah, I think at the first buoy I turned maybe in third position. Then I was just trying to make up my way to the first place, but then I fell into the water twice. So yeah, then I had to really push hard to catch Alexia. And then all I heard was my dad, okay, chill down, you just have to go through the course and you will get this. But in the race you just can't really chill down, so I was still pushing, but making more safe turns and concentrating on not falling in the water, because yeah, that would have made it even more interesting. So but I'm super happy. Yeah.
Well, great to hear. And just one last question, how are you going to celebrate this win?
Yeah, there's not much time to celebrate, because on Saturday I'm doing the long distance and on Sunday the sprint, so just trying to live this moment and enjoy it as much as I can. But yeah, we're still in focus for the long distance, because that's my favorite race. Of course, I'm doing it in the open category, so that will be top level, but I'm ready to give my all and see what happens. So yeah.
Thank you so much, and now go enjoy that win.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Gillette Cautious, your 2024 ISA World SUP Junior Tech Girls winner. What a race she put on, Candice.
Yeah, she's scary fast. I mean, she was able to make up that much ground with falls, with not the greatest start. Imagine, she's young. She has things that she's for sure going to work on. I'm sure she'll go back and watch the replays. Imagine if she doesn't fall, right? It's going to be exciting to watch her in the distance and the sprint races, because she's a world champion. That's going to give her even more confidence going into the next events for her. So congratulations. Here's your results for the junior women's final race.
Alexia Soto in second place for Spain, taking the silver medal. Soren Preston from the USA taking the bronze, and in the copper, Cecilia Pampanella from Italy. As we see the rest of the girls crossing the line, a really great showing from all of the girls today. We're going to be coming up next with the men's prone tech race, so do not go anywhere. Make sure you tune back in. We're going to go to a short commercial break, and we'll see you after that.
And welcome back to the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championships. There is the view of the venue for today. We are crowning world champions left and right here in Copenhagen, Denmark, as we're back in 2024. Last time we were here was in 2017, and I'll tell you what, it's been every bit as exciting as we left off. And Candace Appleby joining me in the studio right now. That last girls' final was absolutely incredible, Candace. I don't think anybody predicted that outcome.
Yeah, that was really exciting. Like I said yesterday, we're going to see new names, new faces, and nobody's going to forget what we just saw. Our new world champion from Hungary. I'm sure the Hosilio brothers are watching. Former gold medalists with the ISA cheering on Hungary. Really proud to see the young woman from Hungary, Cecilia. Congratulations.
Yeah, good for her. And then in the boys' final, we have a change up there. Team Japan comes back and just dominates in that one as well. So 2 new world champions in the juniors. Very exciting stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to keep throwing medals out left and right. So just hold on tight as we take it through the ride. It's time for the men's prone, Candace.
Yeah, this is exciting. I love to watch the prone paddling. This year, they have a flat course, no waves for the technical racing. So we're going to see some interesting buoy turns. It's really difficult to turn a prone paddleboard around a buoy. Yeah. Most of the boards have a really pointy pintail design. And so, you know, with our stand-up boards, we're able to walk back, utilize the paddle to pivot around the buoys. But in the prone paddle division, these boards are made for mostly going distances and going straight pretty fast. So you're going to see some boards maybe have more square tail with more of that surf life-saving design, but I'd say a majority of the boards are probably going to be a pintail. Far as I can see on the lineup right now, I see all pintails. So it's going to be interesting. I am going to be taking notes on how to do a buoy turn on a traditional paddleboard.
Maybe we can get one of these guys. You know a guy by the name of Joe Bark. His name's on the board.
I do. I know Joe.
I'm sure he'll teach you how to swing around a buoy or two.
I'm going to take notes from these guys. These are the best in the world. Really excited to see what's going to happen here. We have a variety of new names, some returning veterans, and they're ready to go. They're on the line here. We're going to see some paddlers probably go straight to their knees and some go to their belly. Traditional paddleboarding, you paddle with a combination of paddling on your stomach and paddling on your knees. Typically the fastest paddle on their knees, but you will see them mix it up throughout the course of this race.
Couple of names to watch out for, ladies and gentlemen. Baptiste Couchard from France, Carlos Alonso from Spain, Also, the one to watch out for, Team Japan, So Namara. And they are off, Candace. A nice clean start. And there it is. As they start, like you said, they're going to jump on their knees and try that sprint.
Yeah, so you see our leader out in front right now is on his knees, paddling with both arms simultaneously. Typically, when you're on your stomach, you're paddling one arm at a time. And, yeah, I mean, it's really a difficult sport, right? We call this crawling across the ocean.
That's
on
what
your
they
hands
call
and
it.
knees.
Yeah, and it's actually, I think the history of prone paddleboarding is very important to talk about because this comes from the life-saving started in the coast of California.
Yeah, so surf life-saving, there's sprint competitions with prone paddleboards, and the Catalina Classic just happened, which is an ultra-distance paddle race. Right here we can see a nice draft pack forming. It's going to be an interesting first turn around this buoy.
And I think what we're going to see a lot, you see more so in prone paddleboarding, you see that sort of side draft.
Yes, you do. You see the side draft. It's you can tuck in. You can see the nice little bump that right after that whole front cluster of paddlers. And here we have a view from the back. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging to see some of their numbers while they're laying on their stomachs. But we have this awesome race tracker. Oh, and we did have a fall, unfortunately.
The nice
Quickly
thing about
getting
it,
right back onto his stomach to go around this buoy.
yeah, falling on a prone paddleboard is a little bit easier than falling on stand-up. So Nomura out in front for Team Japan right now. And look at this, the Guatemalan competitor right now, Pedro Jose from Guatemala out in second place, Andrea Nicarelli from Italy in third, and Maximilian Torres from Peru currently rounding out the top four, Candace. 2:02 into this SUP technical prone race. So No Nomura, I think we were talking about him earlier. You know, young man from Japan. He's one of the favorites in this contest. He kind of called it out before. I was on the beach with him this morning. He actually shaped his own prone paddleboard to take into this contest. So a little bit of history there. And, you know, spends a lot of time surfing, but definitely committed to taking home this prone event.
Yeah, we've continued to see Team Japan excel. They have a great surf life-saving program over there also. One of our world champion paddlers, Shrimpy, who's not with us, his dad was a surf lifesaver. So his dad has a lot of experience in the traditional prone paddleboarding, the surf lifesaving, and we see our paddler out in front.
That's No. Out in front right now, coming into your living room, ladies and gentlemen, lap number 1 of 3 in this contest. Still bunched up. The thing about prone is a lot can happen around these buoy turns. So watch the buoy turn here as he comes into the inside. He's going to get as tight as he can to that Volkswagen buoy. Jumps off and prefers to run around. A very interesting technique when they can touch the bottom because you can run faster than you can paddle.
Yeah, that's actually a really smart move from these paddlers here because those boards are difficult. Like I said before, they're very directional. They're meant to go fast in a straight line. So getting them to change direction quickly is a challenge. So hopping off, redirecting the board around the buoy is going to be the fastest turn today. And we have our paddler out in front, just getting into that nice double arm stroke, getting a good glide. And you know that the paddlers behind him are drafting. They're definitely utilizing the wake.
He's pulling the whole bunch of them. So out in front right now is So Nomura from Japan. In second, Pedro Jose from Guatemala, Andre Nicarelli from Italy, and Maximilian Torres from Peru. That's your top 4 right now as we take on the first lap here today. This is the first of the prone. The women's prones will be coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're following along, we have the men's and women's SUP technical. Let's take a look at the start of this prone final.
Really nice, quick start. I think that is maybe Spain there, right on the right of the screen, straight to his knees. Really great technique, pumping the board, getting out in front quickly.
And it's interesting, you know, you see a lot of contests. I've called a lot of prone races over the years, and if the water is shallow enough, you'll see them run as far out, especially when the ocean kind of sucks back if you have a lot of swell and tide. And you see all 5 of them just blasting through that flag, and the flag's spinning around like a top. So it might be a little change in the situation here coming out of that pivotal turn going into lap number 2, Candace.
Yeah, our paddler from England in the first position.
Little change there.
Some of these paddlers straight up to their knees. can see when they rest back on their heels a little bit, getting a little bit of glide off the draft, changing up, giving their back, their legs, their glutes. There's so much.
So that was So Nomura. We're going to look at that because he just dropped back the top leader from Japan. Watch him go into this buoy turn. This is where it happened, and he went from 1st to 7th with that fall right there. So the young Japanese rider unable to get around that buoy. And it looked like he just got off course and heading straight at it, had to bail or else he was going to get wrapped up.
Yeah, some of these boards are really round, most of them have a very round bottom, and he was on the far right side of the whole pack, which there's a lot of side wakes, so looks like he just caught some of that side wake and rolled off. And now we're going to see coming into this first long back stretch, this is where you're going to see the draft line potentially stretch out. Guys are going to probably try to get to their knees, maybe sprint ahead. Really hard, like I said before, turning these boards and getting around other paddlers is very challenging. So you're going to start to see some things maybe spread out here. So and there we have, here's our course. Same 3-lap course with the flag transition on each lap. So right now they're going from buoy 4 to buoy 5. You see on the top of the screen there, that long back stretch.
And I think the interesting part there is that buoy turn. We saw a lot of changes in position in this particular focus. There's the English paddler up on the top right of your screen, Andrew Byatt out in front right now. Taking a look at this angle as they come right to left. Current situation, in case you're following at home, Andrew Byatt from England out in front. Now Baptiste Cochard, we talked about him on the lineup from France, currently sitting in that 2nd position. And Ireland, we have not said that all week, and Ireland currently is sitting in 3rd place with Oisin McGrath currently sitting in that 3rd place spot.
Yeah, we have a definite mix of athletes up in the front pack from what we usually see Australia, New Zealand, Spain, Japan up in the pointy end of the results in traditional paddleboarding in the United States. And it's really neat to see the depth of field from other countries coming through in this discipline. So our paddler from England is out in front right now, getting in some nice long strokes on his knees. I think he did the Molokai to Oahu this summer as well. It looks like there's maybe a little communication going on between these two. I can see some heads turning. Maybe it looks like there's some talking happening, and they're heading into the turn buoy.
Northernmost turn buoy. This one has been pivotal in a lot of these contests as they start making their way in. And I think something I want to point out, if you look in 4th place right now, you have the Swedish athlete Noah Wolkstrom currently sitting in that 4th place spot. And just behind him, it's the Dane, Mathe Jensen, currently sitting in that 5th place spot. So Sweden and Denmark kind of battling it out for that podium position, trying to make their way into that 4th place copper medal spot. Nice run around the buoy there, and there is a change in position coming out of that hole. Look like Ireland now overtaking France for that 2nd place spot, Candace.
Yeah, really neat to see paddlers from different countries excelling in this sport. A lot of time you see, like I mentioned before, some of the Hawaiian paddlers and the paddlers from Australia and New Zealand, where the surf lifesaving is really popular, but we don't have any representation this year in the traditional paddleboarding for Australia, which is unfortunate. Many of the early years of the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championships, Team Australia took gold for the overall, claiming lots of medals in traditional paddleboarding.
And you absolutely said it right. I mean, we just had an event in California where Australia brought out their whole contention, and nobody could touch them in the prone division. So,
well, except for Jack Bark.
Well, when Jack decides to show up, he's been busy lately.
Shout out to Jack Bark for setting a new record. The Catalina Crossing, first ever to paddle Catalina under 5 hours.
That's insanity.
Yeah, pretty incredible. So
Jack Bark, the son of Joe Bark, his name is plastered on the side of these boards. You see him coming around the bend.
And he's a former ISA gold medalist, the first non-Australian gold medalist in traditional pro and paddleboarding. Happened in Sayulita, where Jack took gold to Lackey Lansdowne. And that was like one of the most emotional, I'd say, victories for a country, was watching Jack win a gold medal. And here we go. We can see with the tracker what's happening here. Really incredible use of technology for this race to be able to follow the athletes and see where they are on the course. Looks like England has turned the buoy, followed by France.
Yep, England still out in front. France currently is sitting in second. Ireland in third. Sweden in fourth now. So Sweden just across the pond from us here, currently sitting in that copper medal position. And the Dane not too far off. Mathy Jensen currently sitting in that 5th place spot in striking distance. And here they come, paddling right into your living room. That is Bayet up and around the flag, fresh and clean and clear with that Barks. Just behind him, it is Baptiste Cochard from France. Look for him to really start putting on a little more pressure on him coming here into lap number 2.
Small little fall off the skim of the re-entry there, but he's recovering. There we go, Donald Morale.
Hey, Donald.
The United States representing. Also an Olympic photographer. You know he's going to come up with some great images from this event, I'm sure.
And we get back to Andrew Bayet, though, who's out in front right now. 4th place finish in El Salvador at the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championships. So he has some history here in the ISA. And he's out there putting on a show for everybody today, ladies and gentlemen. So the Englishman out in front right now with about a 19, well, actually about a couple second lead as he goes here into lap number 2. Candace Appleby calling it with me live, Drew with a U. And we have my man.
Yeah, and most of the pro and paddleboarders come and they do double duty, right? They, most of the time, are doing the technical and the distance racing. And here we are entering that buoy number 4 for the long back stretch. You're going to see the pack stretch out even more here. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, about a 4 second lead between 1st and 2nd and 3rd.
Now you're starting to see Cochard look over his left-hand shoulder, though. He's looking for who's coming up, and they're going to start to put a little pressure and start seeing that separation between 2nd and 3rd.
You can see a little side draft happening right now. He's taking a few strokes and then gliding, taking a few strokes and gliding, conserving some energy, utilizing that little side wake bump that comes off our paddler in the 1st position. And now, ooh, a little bit of a fall.
He's down. Oh,
so that was interesting. Our paddler that was in 1st position went to his knees.
And lost it.
He started.
Bayet goes down, opening the door for Cochard now, all by himself out in front. However, in pro paddleboarding, it doesn't always make a lot of sense to be by yourself out in front.
Well, yeah, with these difficult buoy turns, though, it's going to be hard. It's a good position to be in at this point. He's got to do a lot of work, but it was really interesting when Cochard was up on his knees, and Bayet was about to get on his knees. Cochard he saw the transition about to happen, and then he really started upping his rate. And when you up your rate, as you can see he's kind of doing right now, there's a big wake that comes off the side of the board. So as he upped his rate, right as Bayet was going to his knees, there's a little bit of that side wake that's going to come off the board, and that's what I think made Bayet come a little unstuck and fall. So that I think it was, tactical in the approach to, hey, I'm going to up my rate as he's getting to his knees because it takes some time. It drops the board speed a little bit to go from belly to knees, but got caught by a little bit of that side wake. And now you're going to have almost 4 paddlers coming into this next buoy at the same time.
Watch this buoy turn. There it is. Cochard from France coming around, making that sharp left-hand shoulder to jump off bail. Spin around. All 4 going to come wide. That is, you got Bayet, McGrath, Jensen, and Alonso from Spain now making a move into this buoy, and you see them all fresh and clear right out the backside, and then a change in the situation again, Candace.
Yeah, looks like maybe Bayet has dropped back into battling for that 3rd position. Takes a lot of energy when you fall off to climb back up on your board. We've got Donald Morale from the United States turning the buoy now. This is a good perspective you can see here.
They're going to try 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all balled up. They're going to try to reel in that top line competitor.
We do have a little bit of a change too. Our 2nd place paddler currently
14:54 in this lap number 2 of this men's technical prone final. There will be a new world champion after this, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way through.
Looks like Spain has moved up into that second position. He's making his way around the buoy.
So there is a change in the situation. You see how easy, those boards aren't too easy to ride. They're very, very tippy. And if you've ever been on a prone board, it takes a little bit of talent to stay up on them and a lot of balance as they make their way around here in lap number 2. Going into lap number 3, see some of our SUP technical men's stand-up paddlers getting loosened up out there. So we'll see how that goes later on here.
Swedish paddler was just turning the buoy there.
I'll tell you, he's representing. He probably just paddled from across the way. He probably just jumped on, just decided he's going to compete, paddled across.
Get a little warm-up in, or a long warm-up in.
A long warm-up. Good start here to our prone. And this was one of the larger prone competitive classes, I guess you would call it, that we've had in a long time at the ISA. So a lot of competitors, both on the men's and women's sides. The women's carrying a lot as well, so it's good to see prone paddleboarding really taking effect here at the ISAs.
You see our Spanish paddler here, he's really putting in a lot of work in this stretch to the flag transition. He knows that he is being chased, and he does not want to allow this other group to be able to hop on his draft. He wants to get around and get out. Oh, that's actually Andrew Byatt back in first position. So at some point, he was able to get back around.
In that pack, going into that far inside buoy. So there is the current situation. Byatt out in front, Cachard now sitting back in second. Alonso from Spain in third. Jensen in fourth. So that is the Dane currently sitting in that copper medal position, making his way back up. And then look at this. You got Nomura from Japan coming back from 9th to 6th position with 1 lap to go, but he's got some work to do, Candace.
Yeah, and I'm not sure when Byatt made the change back up into first. It might have been when we were looking at a different portion of the course, but he fought and he made his way back up, and he's got a nice distance.
So this is it, the third and final lap. As they make their way around, there will be a world champion crown medal ceremony planned for this afternoon as they start making their way back out. Now we're starting to see them bunch up a little bit. You're going to see the cadences pick it up. You're going to see a little bit the draft train start pulling a little bit faster as Byatt goes around that Volkswagen buoy. You see how tight he gets to that one. Here comes second place, making his way around. That's Cachard from France, and just on his fin box, Alonso from Spain. And they just keep funneling around. Now, this is where we could see a change in position, Candace.
Yep, this long back stretch, this is where it usually happens. They're on their last lap here. Our paddler from Japan going around the buoy there.
It's in strike. They're all in striking distance of first and second. So we'll see how this shakes out. Going in there, nice camera angle there as you can see them really picking up the pace, coming from right to left. The beach is going crazy. We were talking to Emily later. She said the energy down here is insane right now as all the countries vying, and there is a live shot.
And they can feel it. They can hear it out on the water. Those buoy turns are really close to the shore, so every time they're going around on the inside, and they can hear their teammates and their fans, everyone cheering them on, and that definitely gives them that extra oomph, that extra inspiration when you're out there. You know you have people that are cheering for you, not just your teammates, but you're representing your entire country, which is a great responsibility. So
definitely. And valuable team points coming out of this, as you saw Byatt come around clean. Now the battles for second and third. Cachard, Alonso making a play on Cachard for that second place position. And you can see him come around that buoy. I saw a little technique there, dragging the leg. You saw the leg come off, a little bit of
yep, you can use your foot as a rudder to steer your prone paddleboard, and then you're probably going to have one arm, whatever arm is closest to the buoy, you're going to stick it in the water, almost like you would a paddle on a crossbow, while the other arm moves forward. So you got to do a little bit of what I call stirring the Kool-Aid, or almost like an egg beater underwater with your hands as you're moving forward.
Little bit of technique. We're writing it down in here, Candace. We're going to get good at this. Here he comes into that northernmost inside buoy. He's only got a couple of turns left to go, ladies and gentlemen. Can Team England hold on to this and be at the top of the podium. He's off and around cleared, throws it down. Andrew Byatt now on an overhand stroke coming out of the gap. This is where the sprint's got to take place. Kachar comes around clean.
There's so much leg power that comes into traditional prone paddleboarding. A lot of people think it's just your arms, your upper body, your neck. It's all of that, and your core, especially when you're up on your knees. But there is so much leg strength, hamstrings, quads, glutes that come into play when you're doing the knee paddling. So when they have to hop off that board and reposition for the turn, it takes a lot. And here we go. We have our final stretch.
That's right.
To the finish line.
100 meters. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Byatt from England on the sprint, making his way in. The battle now for second and third. That's what we got to watch. Byatt seems to be taken away for this one, bringing it home for England. It will be a gold medal unless something drastic happens. Byatt looks over the left-hand shoulder, grabs the English flag, raises the hands in the air, and there is your new world champion in the prone men.
Incredible. Look at that excitement. Some hugs from supporters. France coming in second place. Spain in third.
And Ireland overtaking Denmark at the last buoy turn. Gonna take home the copper medal. That'll push Jensen into that 5th place, just out of medal contention.
Darn.
Yeah, here comes Team Japan. I guarantee he's a little upset. Nomura had the whole shot. If it wasn't for that fall at that first buoy turn, I know he's kicking himself for that because that was his race to win, I know.
Max Torres representing prone paddleboarding. He's a subsurfer.
He won the gold in Puerto Rico just a couple of years ago, and now he's out competing in prone.
Showing his waterman prowess. That's
I didn't
awesome.
even see him here, so it's good to see him sneak in and compete in this year's ISAs.
Bringing some valuable points to Team Puerto Rico. Yeah, he's a 2-time champion.
Yeah, it was great wins for that kid. I'll tell you, great surfer. From right in his home country of Puerto Rico to take home that goal was phenomenal for him. The whole country came out to support him. Said it was one of the biggest wins of his career. But it's all about that man right there, Andrew Byatt from England, giving everybody high fives. And congratulations to him, Candace. So did you learn anything from prone, these guys? They should teach you anything?
It made me hungry to go get on my board. Yeah, for sure. I coach a prone workout on Thursday nights at Baby Beach. And so, but we don't have shallow enough water to get off our board and go for the turns.
So, yeah, you have to do a little more work.
Yeah, but these guys are in incredible shape. I mean, traditional paddleboarding is so much work. Takes the entire body. It's very uncomfortable. I call it the real masochist sport.
It really is.
I
mean, from a training standpoint, I don't think there's anything better.
Yeah, and you rub the tops of your toes raw to the bone. I remember seeing Jamie Mitchell after he won his 10th Molokai. You could practically see his bones.
Oh, gosh, I gotta dig that up. So there is the unofficial results in the men's prone. It's Andrew Byatt owning it, ladies and gentlemen, for Team England. Was third before, now taking home his first gold medal at the ISAs. Let's take a look at the start, Candace. Take us through it.
Really great start from the paddler on the right from Spain. No stranger to the ISA games.
And you saw Team Japan fall right there. It just looked like he was too far inside, going dead on to that buoy. He couldn't make his way over. Falls and then drops to 7th place, unable to make up much room.
Yeah, I think that was actually our Spanish paddler who ended up fighting his way back up to 3rd position. So he had to put in a lot of extra work to recover from that. There was a couple position changes throughout this race, but Andrew Byatt was able to get back into that 1st position.
And he comes around that inside VW buoy turn just so clean. This was where he really started to gain a lot of distance, jumping on his knees around the inside flag turn. Big smile on his face. And Kachard was right in striking distance the whole entire time, but Byatt just really
This
seemed
was
to
it
overtake
right here.
Yep.
Kachard had the lead for a moment, and Byatt took advantage of it.
It was Kachard that went down, opening it for Byatt, but bounced right back up and was able to come back from 4th to 2nd. Byatt takes a look over his left-hand shoulder here, sees the pack, and is like, man, I got this as long as I can hold on the pace.
And he's separated himself from the pack here. in this last lap. So from here, he just had a nice, smooth third lap. Was able to hold on to his lead.
I mean, he had about 10 seconds right in that turn.
Yeah, he did.
And that just keep pushing. It was all Andrew Byatt all the time. And this was the final buoy turn. He kind of sees everybody on shore, gives them a wave, and then one more buoy turn, and he brings it home for Team England. A big gold medal win for them. Tremendous performance by the man from England. So third place in the ISAs previously, and he takes home a gold medal here in Denmark. That's a huge win for him.
Really great win for England, and I think, is this the first gold medal for England ever in the ISA World Games?
We'll have to fact check that.
We will have to fact check that, but if I can recall, I believe it might be.
It might be. That's something huge. If it's the 60th anniversary of the ISA. And what a better way to have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go down beachside right now with a very, very happy Andrew Byatt.
Am I looking at
Andrew, congratulations. You are the 2024 World Champion in Prone Paddle. Just give us a few words about what you're feeling right now.
Overwhelmed, excited, very happy, relieved. Lots of things all at once. You know, I got second last time, and I knew I was putting the pressure on myself this week to get this gold. I've been telling my kids and wife I knew I could get it, but then it's doing is another thing, isn't it? And to come across that line and be able to have the time to hold the flag up and everything, I just didn't expect that either. I was a little bit lucky because the French guy Colchard, he fell off along the back, which he probably saw. I tripped once on the turn and almost landed on someone else. So lots of little things happened. So I think all the hard work paid off, but a little bit of luck on there as well. But I wanted to say to my kids as well, because I know they'll be watching Georgia and Luke, never give up, and if you set your mind to something, you can do it.
That is such an amazing message, and I think a lot of people watching will take that in. Also, I know you won the silver medal 2 times, so how did you prepare also mentally for this race? I know you went into this and really wanted that gold.
Mentally, I've had a few things going on in the last few years, and strangely, the difficult times have helped me figure some things out in my head more, and just be more. I was trying to, whenever I was out in front then, I was just trying to think, actually just enjoy the moment. You're in the way. Every time I was getting too excited about I'm in front, just think about where I am right now. And that was actually really good to be able to do that. And we've been watching Chris Hemsworth Limitless this week, and I don't know if you've seen that, but he does all these breathing techniques. So I was just thinking, breathe, we can do this. And I did it.
You did it, indeed. Well, it was amazing to watch. And, you know, if you're going to say a few words also just about, you know, what is going on in your head out there. Like, you had the lead. You were leading, like, by far in the end. Were you like, oh, I got this? Or were you, like, still nervous?
I was still nervous the whole way because I think as I was going out to see the final time, they were slowly catching me a little bit. And then I got the turn. I've got 20 metres here. It's hard to paddle down 20 metres. I know I can do this if I go flat. No one can paddle me down. I don't know. That was what's going through that point. And then the other things is like just more messages for home, really. A lot of people believe you can't do it if you're from England. I think this is definitely our first gold medal in the paddleboards and in the Worlds. And I think the first time Surfing England have got a gold medal in the open categories. Maybe there's some other categories they might have got it. But so England can do it. I think hopefully this is the first to show we can.
That's so amazing, and congratulations to you and to England on this medal. How are you going to celebrate the win?
For now, with the team, it's been great. Our team has been amazing, and yeah, I think that's one of the things I chose. There was some training things I could have done this week, but I chose to be with the team. That's given me a bigger boost than anything this week, so I'll go enjoy it with them and then focus on the weekend racing the distance.
Well, congratulations, and go enjoy with the team.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Emily, and a very, very happy Andrew Byatt. Congratulations to Team England. He fact-checked it for us, Candace.
He did, and what an incredible interview. Just so many things to take away from that. And, you know, if you believe you can do it, you can do it. And the difficulties of life giving him the mental fortitude to push through this race, pretty incredible.
It is. So congratulations to him. We got Eureka Horebe, Judith Vargas, Cornelia Regate, all coming up. The women's prone final coming up. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 2024 ISA World Championships here on ISAsurf.org. We'll be back.
ride to school with you? My dad's lost his car keys.
Our parents overslept. I've got a flat tyre.
Yeah, sure. Morning. Could I ride with you? My driveway is totally blocked. Yeah, sure.
More space for joy. The ID Buzz GTX with up to 7 seats.
Volkswagen. I Rema 1000 handler sundhed ikke kun om mad, men også om at bakke op om trivsel, fællesskaber og mental sundhed.
And welcome back to the 2024 ISA World Sup and Paddleboard Championships. There is Eureka Haribe from Japan. Focused. She's focused.
She's so focused. The gold medalist from 2022 and 2023 in the distance racing. Eureka, fantastic to see her competing here in the tech. It's going to be a tough battle, though, because she's coming up against Judith Verges, who's done extremely well in the last couple of years. Exactly.
Judith has owned the event. Judith from Spain has one to watch out for. Nobody can topple her, and she owns the technical from Spain. Bo Nixon, Drew with you, calling the action live for you as we get into the women's prone technical. The men, congratulations to England. That's their first ever medal.
Andrew Byatt, fantastic performance that he put on. He really came home strong in that last lap to take the gold medal. So fantastic showing from him. I'm really stoked for him. He just lives down the road, and he does a lot of training. So well done, Andrew.
Yeah, you can tell he does a lot of training. Big shout out to his family back home from England watching that. And, you know, he called the play-by-play better than we did. I have to give him credit. Congratulations there, Ed. But it's all about the ladies now, ladies and gentlemen. We have Judith Verges from Spain in there. She's wearing the bib number 79. Like you said, Eureka Haribe from Japan, mostly known for her distance. Going to be competing in the tech again. She actually had a fall last year in the tech event, which took her out of contention, so it's definitely one to watch, as well as the Italian Cornelia Regatti.
Yeah, Cornelia Regatti, the silver medalist from last year and 2022 in the tech race. So definitely one to watch out for. She got bronze in 2019, so she's going to want to go a couple better this year to make sure she gets the jump. Elise Dordignon from France as well, going to be another strong competitor. Looking forward to see Jessica Georgelin from England too, alongside Tiana Pugliese from USA. Going to be strong.
Good job with the last name there, Bo Nixon. Gosh. Here they are on the start line, ladies and gentlemen. This is the we're going to crown a new world champion again. The women's final in the prone. Same course, same laps, same distance. That is what it's all about. And everybody lined up here, it will be equally exciting as the men. Under starters orders, Anthony Villa's got the call. And we are just moments away. It gives me chills in the booth watching this, Bo Nixon.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All the competitors are away now for the women's tech prone final. Good start from a lot of the women there. Bit slower for a few of the others, but we've got a couple of competitors opting to start on their knees or on their stomach. Really personal preference.
Hey, it's a personal preference. You see the sprint coming out, looking for that whole shot buoy, and there is Regatti out in the center of the screen. Haribe on the left. You got Judith Verges now with a firm, commanding lead, dead center of the screen by about a board length early on, just 34 seconds into this contest.
Yeah, she's out in front at the moment, but yeah, Eureka's not far behind. Also, we have Cornelia there up in that conversation too. Also, Elise from France is just behind her. So very close for this front pack coming into the first buoy turn.
What
They're
a
all bunched together.
Cool shot. Look at this overhead shot. Jay and the crew bringing it to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. So you see how bunched up that pack is. You see them 2-on-2 with the third, let's see, fourth, fifth, and sixth kind of coming into contention. But you see a lot of the draft technique using here. Even though it's a sprint, they're still using a little bit of that wave action created by those prone boards to push them forward.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely going to be drafting behind one another, also using that wake, as you said, Drew, to propel them along as they come into the first buoy turn side by side. The first two.
Look at how tight they are. I mean, how do you even get a stroke in when the boards are that tight? Interesting, though, Puerto Rico, Lizette, currently sitting in that fifth pace spot, going into the turn buoy. There it is, coming out, and that is Judith Vergas. You got Cornelia Regatti on the outside. Everybody else battling. You see their hands not even hitting the water. They're basically scratching each other's boards to get around that turn. Now coming into your living room.
Yeah, so you saw Elise there in France currently leading. She sat up on her board to turn around, which made everyone else had to stop and wait for her to get back down. So maybe a little bit of tactic coming into play, getting herself out in front this early on in the final.
By using that technique, that puts Vergas down into third place. Italy's currently in that second place position early on. Long ways to go here, Bo Nixon. And you see the pace really starting to stretch out. Now the girls are going to jump on their knees, start pulling a little bit of water. And you see the different techniques being used. Little side draft action, but you see how tight they get to each other. Look at that. I mean, that just pretty much shows it right now. And they're having to reach way out to the front of those boards to pull any kind of water action coming into that inside buoy.
There's definitely been a bit of contact already from the competitors, both with their boards, their hands as well. You can see the three competitors there behind your current finalist leader there. That is Elise Dorillon from France.
And it's sort of backed up. You got Team Japan currently sitting in that three wide spot, dead center.
Also, Judith Verges there, right of screen. She's on that yellow board, so she's going to look to stay on Elise's tail to get around this next buoy turn. They're all bunched up right at the moment. Another interesting buoy turn coming at you. Let's see if Elise does sit up on her board again to spin around.
She's going to run this one. She's going to run this one around. Haribe to the inside. Vergas cuts her off, now taking over. And look at Haribe going way wide. She's going to lose valuable spots and now drop from second to fourth, opening the door for Vergas. So a huge mistake by Eureka on that buoy turn. You can tell she's more of a distance racer.
You can't even see her in screen yet. There she is just coming back in. So, yeah, definitely a distance racer. Really needs to work on those buoy turns for sure. As you can see, she's coming back in at the moment, just sitting in front in that fourth position. But it is still our French competitor out in the lead at the moment. We're still on lap number 1, 3 laps of this 3-kilometer course. This competitors around this buoy going to turn now back in toward the beach for their flag run.
Snap turn there. You see how close they're getting as they knock the buoy around. Rebate now in second place. Judith Vergas now sitting in that third place spot, now paddling their way back into that inside flag run. Women's prone final. This is the medal round, ladies and gentlemen. And I got to give it to Elise from France. Look at her, just calm, collected, kicking the legs, keeping a little bit of distance off her second place. And now look at this. Team Japan making a move on first, coming into the flag run.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight flag run here. We've got Elise, looks like it's Judith in second place from Spain. So Judith's staying nice and close.
Italy
got Cornelia Regatti, that's it in third place there.
Yep, coming around the flag run.
The top
big smile by Elise. Look at that as she comes around.
Probably getting lots of cheers from her teammates on the beach.
Haribe now sitting in fourth place. There's fifth, the Dane.
Yeah, fantastic to see her up in the mix as well, in for medal contention.
That's Jensen from Denmark, currently sitting in that fourth place spot. So that would be huge for Team Denmark if she could overtake Haribe into that fourth place spot. Now making their way back out, lap number 2, Bo Nixon.
Yeah, as you said, Drew, I think with Eureka not having that kind of buoy turn in her arsenal there, I think our Danish competitor can really make the jump, get up into that medal contention, bring it home for the Danes.
A lot of racing still to go. Currently, there is the situation. You got Sweden sitting in that 7th place spot. England sitting in that 8th place spot. And Puerto Rico Ruiz sitting in that 9th place position, going into lap number 2. Look at this now. We got a little challenge as they make their way back out, stretching their pack out. There is your top 5. Starting to stretch the distance between 6th, 7th, and 8th. And that's our official boat on the left-hand side. They're watching it, recording it, looking for any kind of obstructions. And they've done a great job. Give those guys a shout, man. They've been in the boat all day long.
Yeah, great job. As we see a little
Changing
bit of
the
a different
situation.
tactic there. Yeah, so it does look like we have Judith Verges now out in front.
Judith doesn't like to spend too much time in 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. She likes to get out and really start extending the lead. So you're going to see her really turn it on this right to left long leg as she's really calm and collected coming across.
Yeah, Cornelia not far behind though either. So she's been making a move. She's up in the 3rd place at the moment. So Judith, Elise, Cornelia, Eureka, just as we expected, the top names.
And there is a change. Vergas now currently out in front, 6:50. That was a pretty fast lap time, Bo.
Yeah, very quick. These women pushing hard. Obviously, it is the final for the women's prone tech race. They're going to push hard the whole 3 laps of this race.
And you're seeing lap number 2, we've seen some different types of techniques throughout the day. People really pushing it hard coming out to finish lap number 2, and others just wait until lap 3 and those last 3 buoy turns to really turn it on. We'll see what kind of techniques used here going into the ISA buoy.
Yeah, Judith Verges here around the buoy turn in number 1. We see competitors Eureka there. She did a much more controlled, better buoy turn there, but just falling off the pace a bit. You can see Cornelia there really trying to keep up with the top 2 competitors. She's currently in 3rd position.
And coming down the line, here they come, left to right. You see them really starting to pull that draft. You see the stroke cadence is different from 1st to 2nd. 1st is pulling along the whole terrain right now, and it is a lot of work. You see a distance paddling team start to work together because they'll get out in front, pull for a little while, and then swap out. In a short technical sprint like this, as you would call it, a 3K, they're just putting their heads down and pulling as much water as they possibly can, Bo.
Yeah, that's right. There might be a little bit of talking out there, a little bit of communication between them, but being such a short race, I think they're just going to keep their heads down and go nice and strong.
And he takes a look over her left-hand shoulder coming into that inside ISA buoy. She's going to loop around, keep it out in front. You see the glide. She's going to take it around and open the door now.
That's Elise?
Yes.
So
that's what I was going to say. For that closer angle, Elise now from France overtaking the Judith Vergas dropping to 2nd. Cornelia Regatti now in 3rd. And she kind of opened the door there by just not deciding to jump off her board, but is able to hold on. You see Elise just taking a few strokes off there. She's like, just pull me along, will you?
That's it, yeah, Judith there in front. Elise sitting up on her board again. Interesting move from Elise there, getting off her board at the previous buoy turn. No one else did.
She did it the last lap too, and it saved her some time on that one. That one, or the first one, that one Judith was able to kind of pull away from her a little bit with a beautiful buoy turn as they come back into that inside VW buoy.
Yeah, Judith Verges here looking to take her 3rd gold medal in a row. She's currently in the lead.
This would be huge, Bo. 3 golds back to back to back. Regatti off and around clean. Haribe comes off, currently sitting in the copper medal position. These 4 look for a change in the situation. Verges, this is a little bit different than she's used to. She's used to having a little bit more of a gap between her and the rest of the field, and there's been some positional changes here going into lap number 3. We could see kind of an upset here, so let's keep paying attention here. A nice live shot from the outside going into this first buoy here in lap number 3. What do you expect, Bo?
I expect, to be honest, between these buoy turns, they're quite short distances, so I don't expect there to be too much change in the positions at the moment. But I'm really thinking Eureka's going to start to hit the gas as she gets to those longer stretches, being that distance champion as well. She's really going to make sure that she really pushes hard on those longer stretches to get up in front. So as it stands, we still have Judith Verges from Spain out in front, Elise Tordignon in 2nd, Cornelia Regatti in that 3rd place, and Eureka hanging on.
You know, I was talking with Regatti earlier in the day, and she wants this world champion so bad. She's been on the podium the last 3 times, been competing in the ISA for years, and she is really wanting that world championship. Women's prone final, ladies and gentlemen, 10:39, coming into the beach run, Bo.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting here, how they attack this beach run. Judith there. Nice, clean exit out of the water. Going to look for a nice, clean
It's a tight
entry.
one. Beautiful entry there by the second place.
See there,
Elise.
Elise done very well.
Nice glide, and she was able to close the gap. Now they're side by side coming out into lap number 3. Rigotti now putting the pressure on.
That's right.
Is she going to try to split them, or is she going to go the outside? She's going to try to split them. So this is interesting. Rigotti now trying to work the inside draft on the split, letting her pull them around. You see the stroke cadence is a little bit different here, going to this outside booty. So buoy out, Vergas out in front for Team Spain. We start talking about points. Team France, Team Spain. It was a toss-up. A lot of people picking Spain. A lot of people picking France. And this will be, again, more points. But Italy taking home some points as well in the team early on here in day number 2. But this is interesting.
They are so close together at the moment. You can see Elise and Judith there, number 1 and 2 at the moment. So right side by side, they're going to come into this next buoy turn. Let's see who might have the priority going into it.
Well,
Elise does have that inside track.
Elise definitely has the inside track priority. As long as she doesn't get pushed too far inside, like we saw in that last lap, she's going to have to start making her way back from left to right so she doesn't sort of T-bone that buoy. And she just squeaks it out to the outside. And look at how tight she got.
Yes.
You saw Vergas really starting to push her over. It was a strategy played there. And she was able to fend it off and now comes out in first place.
Yeah, so Elise Dordion now out in front. You can see Cornelia there right behind Judith. Judith now up on her knees. She's going to really start to stroke hard. Now she's out in front. Elise has to step on the gas. Cornelia is going to make sure she also paddles hard to keep up with them. This is this distance stretch along the back of the course. Judith Vergas trying so hard to shake them off, but they're all going to stay together here.
No, Elise isn't going to let her go. Neither is Rigotti. They know if they let Vergas go, it's over. They got to stay in the front of the pack. As you see Elise take a couple of strokes off there, taking a look. This is where you've been there before. Last lap, last 250 meters or so, you start to feel the burn, Bo.
Oh, you certainly do. You can see Eureka there in 4th place currently. She's trying to catch up. She's made a little bit of ground, I think, but going back to that little play before where Judith wanted to push the rest, you can see she just backed off a little bit. Everyone took a bit of a breather there. Got back down onto their stomachs to turn around this next buoy here.
Outside buoy.
See Elise pushing them a little bit wide, so a bit more of a tactic coming into play.
Yeah, final lap, ladies and gentlemen. 2 buoy turns left to go as they come to that northernmost inside buoy. They're kind of looking at each other, and that's what I love about prone. You are face to face. You're reading the expression. You're seeing the sweat. That's what's happening here as they start coming in inside buoy turn 1350. So a blistering pace here for these ladies as they start lapping the rest of the field.
Yeah, so that is our
Rigotti's in striking contention here, though. She's good prime position sitting in that inside split.
Yeah, we see Judith now just out in front of Elise. But Eureka, I mean, hats off to her. She's catching up to this lead pack.
She's got some work to do, though. We got 2 more buoy turns to go. Haribe, not known for her buoy turns, is going to have to just pull off a miracle here. And
let's see if Elise jumps off her board again at this point, because it is quite deep, maybe chest deep.
She's going to. You know, on that inside line, she's going to have to bail. Let's see if Vergas tries to push her to the inside. Vergas now starts to bump into her, pushing her to the inside. And that will open the door for Elise. Vergas conceding to first and second. Rigotti now in second. Vergas dropping to third. Now with 1 buoy turn to left, it is an all-out sprint, Bo Nixon. Haribe just off the pace, but she actually had a clean buoy turn as well. This is it, the final buoy turn. This will decide the World Championships in the men's.
I think we're on lap 2, Drew.
No.
Still on lap 2.
Oh, my bad.
One more lap.
Jeez,
One more lap to go.
You got me all excited there,
It's
Bo.
all excited.
Nice stop there by Elise. She drops it back around to the inside. So that was an interesting play there by Vergas, kind of opening up that gap, deciding not to bail, and Elise was able to cut to the inside.
Yeah, she did that before on the first lap as well. She jumped off there. All the other competitors opting to stay on their board as they came around. So maybe there's going to be a bit of a change in how they're going to approach this buoy turn, but also that second to last one on this final lap.
Lap number 3, you see how tight it gets. They've been bumping in every single buoy, changing positions. You see Elise come out on top there. And I think it's just this back and forth play, but I think Regati's sitting in that third place spot. She's kind of keeping her eye on that. She's just looking for an opening, but they are not allowing anything. It is tight into each and every buoy turn.
It certainly is. Eureka Haribe as well. I know I keep mentioning her, but she's actually caught up to this group pack. She's now going to be on the draft train.
She's jumping on the end. So there is your top four. They've extended the lead by about 40 seconds over 5th place as they start making their way out for their third and final lap. Thanks for the correction, Bo.
No, that's all right. So we've got the Danish competitor currently in that 5th spot. Is she going to be able to catch up to this leading 4 women, though? I'm not too sure on this last lap if she can. They are quite a distance ahead.
Yeah, it's about 17 or 18 seconds off the pack is the Dane. And that is Stella from Denmark, now going to be coming into screen on the left-hand side. There she is, going to make her way around that outside red buoy. She's got some work to do if she's going to come up. But this lead pack now stretching the lead even further. And now Judith back in front right now, pulling the rest of the group.
How amazing. She was back in 3rd place at one of the buoy turns just before, but she's really pushed hard to get herself into the lead for this final lap. She's going to round the beach flag run.
Yep, off and cleanly around. And let's watch the glide coming out of here. Elise was able to catch her on that last one. Elise with a nice glide, but Vergus with a much better entry on that turn.
Yeah, but actually Elise had a fantastic entry back into the water. She's right next to Judith at the moment. As you can see, Cornelia just behind them. Eureka as well. Judith now just out in front. This is where they have to start pushing hard. These final stretches of these, before the last buoy turns, they really need to go hard. As we see Danish competitor there. She's got a little bit of catching up to do.
Yeah, give her some credit, though. I mean, just 30 seconds off the pace. Still, just off medal contention there. We're looking for Denmark to take home a medal for in one of these contests. They got the relay tomorrow with a medalist, Casper Steinfeld, at this exact location. So that could be their opportunity. They've been close the last couple of heats there, Bo.
They have. They got Christian Andersen coming up in the men's tech SUP race. So he's definitely a chance for a medal there as well. As we turn our attention back to the water here, Judith Vergus has that inside track coming in to this buoy turn. Elise Dordignon on her left.
Little opposite
right,
situation here.
Yeah, so
Elise
Judith
was on the inside in the last lap, and she tries pushing her into the buoy.
So this is where they're going to start doing the tactics again. Are they going to push hard? Are they going to just keep close to each other? This is the final lap. They are all very close together, though.
Let's see if Judith tries to pull away like she did last lap.
I think as soon as you start to see them get up on their knees, you know they're going to start really starting to stroke hard.
Regati currently sitting in that 3rd space, but there you've been talking about her the whole entire time. Haribe now challenging Regati from Italy for that 3rd place spot. So give it to her, you're right.
Here she goes.
Reeled her in and now starting to make a move on that outside.
So if she can get herself up into that 2nd, 3rd place, she's done so well. Here they go. They're all starting to get up on their knees now. You can start to see kind of that porpoising of the board up and down in the water, starting to get up to that planing speed.
Look at Judith's board, though, on the yellow board on the center of your screen. It's just so clean and cutting through that water. No undulation, just utilizing a lot of strength and saving a lot of energy coming in these last 3 buoy turns.
That's right. She's just got that lead currently. Just the nose of her board out in front at the moment, but she does have the inside line here. Going to push Elise wide.
She's going to push her wide again, but that's going to open up the door for Regati on the inside. Regati now challenging Vergus. Vergus actually tapped the tip of her board coming out of that turn. Now Judith starting to turn on the gas. Elise jumps to her knees. Elise now trying to keep up. Vergus starting to pull away on her stomach, Bo.
She is. I think Cornelia is starting to get up almost into 2nd place as well. They're side by side. Eureka Haribe not far behind. Judith Vergus out in front at the moment. 2 more buoy turns before this is all over. So let's see if their situation is going to change at all. But you can see
they're trying to hold on. They're trying to stay with it. Haribe on the inside now trying to make a play, trying to keep into that 2nd, 3rd, 4th spot. This buoy turn will prove to be key, Bo Nixon. We saw Vergus concede in the last 2 laps. We'll see if she does it here. If she does, that might open the door. But I think Judith's been there multiple different times. She's not going to allow that. And we'll see if she bails or decides to paddle around it.
Sit up on her board, maybe stall them behind her a bit. We'll see how she does it.
She's going to run it.
Elise, you saw Elise do it before.
Yep,
to get
and
ahead.
that opens up for Rigotti. Rigotti's going to paddle around it. She didn't have any space as Elise kind of cut her off to the inside. Now Rigotti for Team Italy currently sitting in that second place spot. One buoy turn to go. Now Vergis starting to extend her lead by about a board length here for Team Spain.
That's right. She's kind of well ahead now as she's going into the final buoy turn before the sprint to the beach.
Oh, we have a lapped rider. She's going to have to adjust here. That's going to cause her to stall and open up for the rest of the pack. So the lapped rider actually impedes her position, and she is able. That was that was a very scary part right there.
That certainly was quite a scary part. As you see, Judith Vergis now leading the Perone Women's Final. She's going to make her way into the beach, currently in that first position. Elise Dordignon from France in that second place. Cornelia Rigotti, but look at Eureka Haribe really trying hard to catch her for that bronze medal position.
And it will be back to back for Judith Vergis from Spain. 21:40 is the pace. Elise Dordignon from France taking home that second place, just 1/10 of a second off. Cornelia Rigotti, third place again.
Yeah, and Eureka Haribe, a fantastic performance from her. She did a lot to catch up to that front leading pack there in that race. So hats off to all these ladies. What a fantastic Perone Tech race that was. As we see
the Dane
coming in 5th place. Very, very stoked with that performance.
Monte Jensen from Denmark going to bring it home for her home country. Just missed the podium once again for Team Denmark, unfortunately, but will come to a strong reception from all of her fans here in Copenhagen, Denmark. So congratulations to her. Well, Bo, everything was to be expected.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go chrome paddleboard now?
Need to have a, yeah, definitely I am. I mean,
Candace took a board, just left. She's like, I'll be back. She's out there practicing now behind us.
The technique these women have is just unbelievable to watch. Judith Vergis here, as you said, Drew, 3-time gold medalists in a row. Great.
Give it to Elise and Rigotti for challenging her. You know, Vergis hadn't had that kind of competition for the last couple of years. She ran away with it. And this year, she really had to be tight and clean on those turns and really start to power away. Very smart race for her, and give her a lot of credit. That's why she's a back-to-back-to-back champion.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show with the conditions today as well, that flat water, no waves. So everyone's staying really close together. That top 4 was so close. You can see there's only 7 seconds between 1st and 4th place.
I love her interviews, too. So she just light us up with a good. There's her coach on the left-hand side for Team Spain. Laura Quickglass in the mix there. Good to see her. She's kind of turned from racer to coach and coaching a lot of our athletes. So good to see Laura on screen as well for Team Spain. And I'll tell you, this is going to help their campaign as taking home the team title.
Yeah, definitely. They come second last year. So they want to go one better ahead of France.
Let's take a look at the start here, Bo. Nice clean start for all the competitors. And you saw the middle of the pack very tight all the way out. Actually, Denmark was holding on in the top 2 on that start.
Yeah, you saw Elise and Judith there opting for that inside track on the far right-hand side of the beach, managing to get to the buoy turn. You see Eureka there just getting caught up at that first buoy turn with the congestion there. So maybe that cost her a little bit.
And then things really started to stretch out back and forth as Elise was out in front for the majority of lap number 1. Judith was just hanging on. You see Aribe get pushed way to the outside there. That was that big mistake she made there, and she lost a lot of time.
Yeah, she lost a lot of time there. Put her back into 4th place, where she did finish the race. But Judith Vergis there, trading the lead with Elise for a lot of this race. See, this is the first lap. Elise having that kind of better buoy turns on the inside. They're opting to jump off where all the other competitors were staying on their board. But Elise really stuck it to Judith there, trying to get ahead of her.
And she chose multiple different facets going around that buoy turn. You saw her sit to the back of the board. You saw her jump off and carry. You saw her paddle it. All fresh, all super clean buoy turns there for Vergis. And then Elise tried to push her to the outside here. And this is where Vergis could have pushed her to the inside. And you see how tight it got as that Volkswagen buoy got knocked around. We saw her really trying to force her way back out. So a little rubbing action going into that buoy turn.
So yeah, this was lap 2 on the outside stretch there. The women trying really hard to find their positions. Elise still out in front at this point on lap number 2. We thought that
she had it. That was her strongest buoy turn in the entire race. She killed it on that buoy. And she was able to stretch it out, but Elise just overtakes her. Do you see how tight it was the entire race? They're rubbing shoulders. They're rubbing paint. and this is where she started to break away, Bo.
That's right. Yeah, Judith here really got a great start. Elise actually had a really great entry on that last lap there back into the water, which put her right next to Judith. You can see on this backstretch here, Eureka Haribe now trying to get back up into third place, but it was the Italian, Cornelia, who finished with that bronze medal.
Yeah, that buoy turn, you see how tight it is. That is the most exciting buoy of the entire event. And Judith jumps off, huge smile. Team Spain on the paddle comes across the finish line, taking home some valuable team points and another gold medal. Judith Vergas taking home the gold for Team Spain. So there it is. The Pro paddleboards are in the books for this year's 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championships. Let's go down to our championship winner, Judith Vergas from Spain, for another gold medal interview, Bo.
Thank you. Yes, I'm here with Judith. Judy, you are the 2024 World Champion. It's your third gold medal. Can you just give us a few words about what you're feeling right now?
I'm really happy because I didn't expect this one, because this year I focused on other sports and I came here just from another championship really tired, and I didn't know how I would feel in the water. But I feel comfortable all the race. Just the last lap we tried to push a little bit more, and I was after a turn that I started paddling a little bit more quickly just to get a little bit of gap and just pushing till the end.
And you were 4 women in the front, really leading all the time. It was a lot between you and France. So can you say a little bit, when did you start feeling that you were feeling strong and you were having this race?
Just when we turned the last can, the one that's far away, I just saw a little runner, and I just turned first, and I said, okay, it's my time, it's now or never. So I tried to push on that runner, and this was the one that gave me that little gap.
And you also collected some very important points for Team Spain in the team ranking. How's the vibe on the Spanish team right now?
Oh, we are really motivated. Also, the juniors did a great race. We have 2 silver medals. Now the pro of the boys also a bronze medal. And we are really focused as a team and motivated. And for sure we will try to fight for the goal in the championship.
And what does it mean for you to be here with the Spanish team here in Copenhagen, have this team experience? I know it's always like a really special time to be here with the team.
I wasn't really motivated to come to this championship, but when I'm here with that team, it's like there's a really good vibe in the team, and there are a lot of louds all the time, and so as a team, I think it's one of the teams that I've been also more comfortable, and I just forget a lot about the competition, and I don't know, it's really fun to stay with them.
And how are you going to celebrate the win?
I think I'm going to rest, because tomorrow we have the relay, and then I do also the long distance. So, but well, I get some beers tonight and rest.
Sounds like a good plan. Congratulations. Go enjoy it with the team.
Thank you so much.
You know where I'm going to be later. Popping some beers with Judith. That's what I have to say. So congratulations, Team Spain, with that gold medal, now on top with 15,160 points. Team Japan in second place. So Haribe helping with that campaign. Team Italy sitting in third, and Team France currently sitting in fourth in the team standings early on. But give it to the Spaniard. 3 golds, stacking and racking, Bo.
They certainly are. It's fantastic to see Spain having strong performances here already today. It's only been 4 finals that's happened already, and they're out in front. So a great showing from them. We've still got a lot more action to come today.
Yep. We're going to give away 2 more gold medals still to come, ladies and gentlemen. So you don't want to leave us here on ISAsurf.org. We got the men's and women's SUP technical, which are going to be insane, Bo.
Yeah, that's right. Men's SUP technical coming up first. You know, a lot of past medalists in that event. A lot of people looking to, you know, get more medals. But also, I think the young Danish competitor, Christian Andersen's going to really try to push hard to bring that medal back home for his country. That's all coming up as our last finisher comes across the finish line. And ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned, men's and women's SUP technical coming up right here at ISAsurf.org. Don't go away. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be insanity. We'll be back. Hello and welcome back to the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. You are looking at the men's SUP tech races getting started on the line for their final today. Just come off a fantastic showing from the women's prone event. My name is Bo Nixon, joined by Candice Appleby in the booth to call the action. Candice, you're going to be taking us through the men's and women's tech race this afternoon. You must be excited to see some of your friends out there competing, but also some new names on the start list as well.
Yeah, it's really exciting to be back here with you, Bo, calling the action. I'm a fan of the sport as much as I am an athlete, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen. This heat is going to be incredible. I think that there are at least 6 athletes who are in potential gold medal shape today, and it's going to be a challenge, I'd say, for the judges. I wouldn't want to be judging any of those buoy turns today. And here we got local paddler Christian Anderson, aka Polar Bear, right here on the screen. You know that he is excited. He's nervous. He's representing Denmark, and he has, I'm sure, a huge fan base on the beach cheering him on, including one of his mentors, Casper Steinfath. And right next to him, you have Itzel Delgado, fresh off of an 11 Cities Tour win. So he's put in a lot of mileage last weekend. And then next to him, Donato Franz. He's really been making a huge push this season, having some really great results throughout the European summer races. And he's another one to be watching. So you see Itzel here just getting in the zone. He's has a lot of experience. He's hungry for a medal.
I mean, just going down the line, Aaron Sanchez there on the left of screen, Spanish competitor, another name in the mix. Ryan Taguchi put on a fantastic performance yesterday, so he's another one to look for in this race alongside his teammate.
And then we've got Ricardo Rossi next to him, who has been setting a blistering start every single one of his rounds. He's been out in front. He's in great shape. He is just really, really hungry. So it's going to be interesting to see him. And then we've got veterans like Michael Booth. We've got multiple-time champion Noik Geriu. So it's going to be interesting to see the veteran experience coming up against the hunger of those who have not won a medal yet. And here's our race map. Again, same like we've been doing earlier today and yesterday. 3 laps of this multiple buoy course.
And yeah, so starting at the beach there, going out toward that golden buoy turn. Been the same course as it's been all day, the 1.86 mile course, 3 kilometers. It's going to be another exciting afternoon, finishing off with the men's SUP and the women's SUP technical race. I've been a ball of nerves and excitement all day watching these people race. How have you been feeling, Candice, just watching your friends and fellow competitors out there?
Yeah, I'm a lot less nervous than when I'm out there, but it's so exciting. It's like I said before, I'm a fan of the sport, so it's really fun to see. And I think we're going to see probably our fastest run of the course today in this next heat. That's my prediction. I really do not have any predictions, though, as far as a winner or even the top 3, because it is a combination of, I mean, any of these gentlemen here in this final can win gold today, I'd say. It's going to be really exciting. You have to see Erie there going into the water to get his feet wet. We have a great variety of board shapes and designs and brands on the start line. Really great to see all the different companies supporting these athletes to get here, to have the right equipment, supporting them in their training. If it weren't for the board brands and some of the other sponsors, but especially the board companies really put in a lot of investment into these athletes. And if it weren't for them, I'd say a lot of these athletes wouldn't be here, along with support from their countries as well. So they're going to be proudly supporting and representing all their sponsors, their country, their families. And you've got definitely some hearts pounding. These guys are ready to go. They've got their spots on the line. There's not a whole lot of wind today, so we're not going to see as much of that. How the bump riding comes into play as we did yesterday. So here we go. We got everybody getting ready.
Men's SUP tech race final about to start. Getting ready for under starters orders. The men about to hit the water. Watch for a quick start from NSP rider there, Blue Ewer. Been practicing his starts.
Looks like a clean start. Everybody's to their feet. Oh my goodness, look at this. Everybody is side by side. No paddler left behind. It looks like someone's getting just a little bit caught up there in some of the wash. So much turbulent water from the bodies bouncing on the boards, especially in the start, puts off a big side wake. And you're gonna see, let's see, who do we have here? Looks like maybe Michael Booth on the far outside. Or perhaps
Christian Anderson, I think.
I know that Christian is on the NSB, so he's in the middle of the screen out in front. You can see he's choking down on his paddle a little bit. Hard to tell exactly who's in front from this perspective, but I think he is one of the front runners heading to this buoy. So this first buoy turn is going to be pretty interesting. You've got, looks like 5 paddlers heading there almost side by side. They want to definitely keep it clean. Ooh, and it looks like somebody just coming a little bit unstuck there in a few strokes. And yes, that is Christian Polar Bear Anderson making a nice front side turn.
Looks like Clement Colmas possibly in second spot.
And it looks like Donato maybe in third position.
Someone's just come off there on the buoy turn. Going to cause a lot of congestion here.
Another fall. Board swinging overheads. This is a really, really challenging tight turn. And when you're side by side, those packs end up having a separation from the pack in front when they all get stuck there together. So
I'm going to correct myself. That's Aaron Sanchez currently in second. Clement Comas back still in that lead pack. Raya Taguchi there in 8th spot, right hand of screen. You see with the headband on.
And that was Ricardo Rossi going around the buoy. Sorry, not Donato Friens. So Ricardo's been putting in some really great paddling in the early rounds. He led in the early rounds and then didn't finish in the lead. We saw that happening throughout all of the preliminaries. Whoever was in the front in the beginning didn't finish in the front in the end. So we'll see if Christian is going to be able to hold everybody off, allowing his board to glide. You can see his recovery phase. He's giving himself time to get back to his next stroke, making sure that he's taking really solid strokes, probably really breathing right now. He knows he's in front, so he can control the pace into this turn. Really smooth turn. Nice turns from these gentlemen. That's a hard front side turn to do right there on such a deep rail board. We've got nice and smooth Raya Taguchi on the inside on the starboard.
Snow got good there, turning around the buoy turn there. We've got Donato Friends there as well.
Looks like Michael Booth was getting a little stuck there inside that turn, but allowing each other to get around smoothly when they're side by side. You want to make sure you don't want to impede anyone's progress. Here we go. We got another. This is our last turn that's going to come into the flag transition. So this is a time where they're really going to be trying to regroup, get in that front position. And Christian did take that turn a little bit wide. You can see the surface texture pushing a little from the left to the right of the screen. And now making his move into the front position. He's really pushing hard. Is that our paddler from Spain?
Aaron Sanchez.
Aaron Sanchez.
Yeah, now
He's
at the lead.
Really working hard there. He wants to get to the beach first and get around that run flag. It looks like Christian Anderson is taking just a little bit off his stroke, maybe regrouping in second position here.
Antonio Murillo from Spain. So the 2 Spanish competitors are out in front. Polar Bear in that 3rd place at the moment. And we've got Ricardo Rossi. Raya Taguchi had a fall of that previous buoy turn. So he's going to come around the flag in 5th position at the moment. Blue Ewer in 6th. We've got Eric Tenorio there, 7th. Clement Colmas, Donato Friends, Noik. They're all together, tight in that pack. Michael Booth coming around. So there is our younger Japanese competitor as well who took the gold this morning in the junior boys tech race.
And like I said, any one of these gentlemen can win gold. The ones that are in the top 4 right now, I didn't necessarily, for myself, had predicted to be up there. But, well, I predicted it. Any one of them could be, right? So like I said, it's not our veterans from the past that you see leading the pack right now. We've got new names that have not yet collected medals up in the front, and now they're going to head into that back stretch. So you have 4 paddlers here in the front pack. They have a little separation between the pack behind them. So let's see what happens if any of these guys try to make a move. And there's a pretty good separation right there. That's at least 5-6 board lengths between the second pack, between your first 4.
We saw Raya Taguchi yesterday in the qualifying rounds, he was a bit further back in the field as well, but during this kind of second lap, he made a move up into that lead pack. So we'll see if he can make that move from 5th position currently and chase down this group of 4 men out leading the SUP Tech final.
And that last buoy turn before it changed the screen was starting to look a little bit tricky. I saw somebody come in on the inside and actually shove their board in front of someone else's leg. So that's going to be interesting to see how the officials judge that last buoy turn. There have been a few infractions throughout the last 2 days. Nice, smooth turn right here. Let's see what happens. Now we've got about 3 paddlers side by side.
Yeah, looks
Ricardo is in 4th position.
Yeah, Antonio there on the left of screen on the NSP. Alongside
looks
next to his competitor. Both Spanish competitors actually making contact there.
And you could see that he, our 2nd position paddler, allowed himself, rather than challenge for that 1st position, he pulled into the draft. And now you can see Ricardo, 2nd and 3rd, are kind of challenging for that same draft position. They're saying, okay, I'm not gonna press for the front right now. I'm gonna save a little bit of energy. I'm gonna draft, go into this turn.
Look at the
catch
group
their
behind,
breath.
though.
Yeah, that's a hungry pack. And this next turn, you got 4 guys that got to get around this buoy, and Rai Taguchi is pushing a hard pace. So I think that he's probably gonna close this gap right here and bring everybody else along with him. We'll see.
Clement Colmas on the inside, though. He's
got
been
about
able
1,
to get up ahead.
2, 3 seconds, 4 seconds between the 1st and 2nd group. So
Blue, you were there. Eri Tenorio moving around. Clement Colmas there as well. But we still have Antonio Murillo leading at the moment. Aaron Sanchez just in 2nd place. Ricardo Rossi in 3rd. Polar Bear, Christian Anderson there in 4th place. He was leading the start of this race as they move into the 2nd lap.
And some of these turns, they're getting a little bit tough. You saw Ricardo Rossi heading into that last red buoy. He was kind of getting pushed off course, and then he had to take a few corrective strokes to get back. And they ended up going around that buoy side by side. Really important to pay attention to making sure if someone has half a board length ahead, they have the right of way to go around the buoy smoothly. Rai Taguchi, he has such a textbook fast turn whipping around that buoy there. We got Eri Tenorio from Brazil going around the buoy.
Clement Colmas, Donato Friends there as well. So any of these competitors can make the move and catch up to that lead pack. Looks like Rai Taguchi has managed to catch up, which means the competitors behind him, Blue Ewer, Eri Tenorio as well, are moving up in the field. And it looks like Aaron Sanchez has overtaken Antonio Murillo, his teammate from Spain, to regain the lead in this race.
And we're going to have one long train again, which can change things up. If anybody has a fall or a bobble, you got to just be really hyper-focused, paying attention not only to what you're doing, but what's going on ahead of you, especially in course racing. And you can see when these athletes are traversing back and forth, they create a wake that the other paddlers have to deal with as they're heading in. So we have a dismount here.
Aaron Sanchez
heading into lap 2.
Oh, he falls over, so Antonio Murillo is going to get that upper hand there.
And that's going to cost him a little bit of energy. It looks like he was able to get back on his board. He got a nice little glide, so it looks like he's still back out in that 1st position. But
Taguchi fell off as well. Blue Ewer now moving up into that 5th spot. So a few falls there happening on the beach run there. Maybe some nerves coming into it 2nd lap.
And you never know. Lots of heats have gone through this course already this morning, right? We've had a few heats, so there could have made a little bit of a divot in the sand, and there could be some holes that maybe they're stepping as they're going around in a circle. And they're carrying these large 14-foot paddleboards. You got Itzel Delgado going around.
Noik Gariu there.
And Noik Gariu.
So Noik, strange to see him so far back in this race, but not too far off the pace either, though. They're all still together. All of the men's final. Itzel Delgado with him. As we take a look ahead there, does look like Aaron Sanchez still out in front at the moment. And it's such a close race, Candice. I'm just amazed at how the competitors are doing. They're actually heading out toward that number 4 buoy at the moment, turning around that for that longer stretch toward number 5 on their 2nd lap.
Yeah, and this is where a lot of things can change, like we've seen in previous heats. That's where the pedal to the metal happens, right? Make your move. You can see Ricardo looks like he's pushing on the outside. It looks like second position is just enjoying a little bit of the draft. Christian as well. Maybe conserving some energy. You can see the paddlers farther back, the slower the stroke rate. But it looks like on the outside, Rai Taguchi is really making a hard push here. He was not up in the front of the pack off the start, but we know that he's hungry. Look at him right there, really surging.
As is Eri Tenorio as well, moving up ahead. Blue, you are really falling back now, as is Christian Andersen, back in 5th, almost 6th place now. We see Eri Tenorio up there as Clement Colmas now from France up in the mix. Aaron Sanchez still out leading as we see a bit of congestion there around that buoy, but everyone's staying on their board nice and cleanly.
You can really see Rai Taguchi working hard around the outside. It looks like he's going to try to make his way from the outside. It's hard to overtake in such a short distance.
As they make their way back in toward the beach here for the next buoy turn. Rai Taguchi really making a move on that outside there. Fantastic drone shot here. You can see Aaron Sanchez. Ricardo Rossi has moved right up next to the leader. Rai Taguchi's making his way back in from that outside line.
He's going to really need to push hard because coming into this next turn, he's on the outside. So if he can stay up, Ricardo Rossi as well pushing. This is going to be a really technical turn here. Oh, nice and smooth. These guys are the best of the best. So, we have a little bit of a board over the nose, but they were able to get around cleanly.
So
we've had some position changes here.
We certainly have.
Yeah, we had a pack of 4 that was out in front. Now we've got a pack of 7 or 8 together.
Aaron Sanchez currently out there in front. Ricardo Rossi just behind him as they are starting their final lap. Rai Taguchi now up into 3rd place. He was down in 8th place on the first lap. Antonio Maria, who was leading on the last lap, now down into 4th position. So we have Clement Colmas, who's done a lot of catching up.
What an incredible race. I mean, the fact that this pack is so close together. Rai Taguchi has had 2 falls, and he's had to work his way back up to being in the lead pack.
There's a fall there from Antonio Maria. He's down. Clement Colmas is going to get ahead of him. Looks like Christian Andersen wants to make the most of it too. Blue Ewer behind him. Eri Tenorio, Donato Friends, all together there as well. Christian Andersen is powering along to get up into 4th place.
It's maybe a half of a board length. Looks like Rai Taguchi is really going to work hard to close that gap. I'm sure those guys are like, thanks, Rai, for bringing the rest of the pack up to us in that previous lap.
Exactly. They're all still in this. As we see Rai Taguchi there, rounding at the buoy there.
You can see Aaron Sanchez has been putting in a lot of work. It looks like in this stretch towards the beach, he's really utilizing a lot of that body weight you can see in his stroke. Try to conserve energy by using body weight to get into that down power. This is a really important transition here. Looks like he had a little bit of a bobble, and so this might cost him a position going around this flag. He's redirecting.
Yeah, Rai Taguchi had a bit more of a direct line into this flag turn. We saw, I think it was Aaron last time, falling over on this flag run. Ricardo Rossi in 2nd place, Rai Taguchi in 3rd. Clement Colmas up into 4th. Antonio Maria down to 5th. Christian Andersen, Blue Ewer, all still there, Candace.
Everybody's close. Oh man, this is exciting.
Michael Booth coming in now for that more breakaway group at the front there. Michael Booth in that kind of 2nd pack, back in 12th position. So there's 11 paddlers contesting their 4 medal position at the moment.
Yeah, and it looks like there's maybe a little bit of a separation between the top 3 and the next pack, but if these guys can get around the buoy cleanly, they might be able to avoid letting that whole next pack of 6 or 7 paddlers catch them. But right now, they're all side by side. When you're going around side by side, a lot harder to get around the buoy quickly and be clear of everyone else. So let's see what happens here. Rai Taguchi, look at this ground that he's made up, and he's really surging forward. Wow, getting ahead. Ooh, this is a little bit of a tricky turn here.
Rai Taguchi now well out in front after that buoy turn.
Oh, and he's getting a bit of a breakaway. So we're going to see, Aaron Sanchez is going to work really hard to not let him get away, as is Ricardo Rossi. They're setting a really, really hard pace. And you got that chase pack not far behind. You can see Rai is really choking down lower on the shaft of his paddle in order to get a lot of leverage on the blade, taking a little bit shorter strokes, but the lower your hand gets to the blade, the more leverage you have, the more power you have to pull.
So we've seen Rai Taguchi back in 8th place. A couple of falls already in this final. He's now leading the men's SUP tech race. Aaron Sanchez right behind him with Ricardo Rossi as well. That's your current gold, silver, and bronze.
Really great turning techniques from all these young men.
As we see, looks like Clement Colmas up into 4th in the copper position. Antonio Murillo, Christian Andersen. We've got Eri Tenorio has made a move on Blue Ewer, alongside Kataro as well, the junior Japanese competitor. But it is Rai Taguchi out in front.
This chase pack is still not far behind. So if there was any sort of a mix-up in the front 3, things could change. But right now we've got gold, silver, and bronze out in front. This is our last lap, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. 2 more buoy turns.
I know that Suzuki, team manager for Japan, is probably screaming right now on the beach. So excited, as is the Spanish team and the Italian. So let's see, we're coming into one of the last turns here, and a world champion is going to be crowned.
Aaron Sanchez making a move now on Rai Taguchi. He's going to save a little bit of energy for this final sprint to the beach. They've got 1 more buoy turn, and here it is. Rai Taguchi running in current gold medal position. Aaron Sanchez quick around there as well, but Rai's going to get straight into his paddling. Aaron Sanchez now right on his tail.
Really surging forward. Look at Rai. I think that he has it in the bag. He's got a few board lengths. As long as he has a clean dismount and run up the beach, it's going to be Japan for the win. And here he goes, a world champion gold medalist, Rai Taguchi. 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Wow.
Wow, what
that is fast.
Time. Aaron Sanchez from Spain, silver medalist. Ricardo Rossi from Italy.
Fired up.
There is your French competitor, Clement Colmas, crossing the line in 4th place. That'll be your gold, silver, bronze, and copper medalist. The young Danish competitor, Christian Andersen, crossing the line there in 6th place. Antonio Murillo, who did lead this race on lap 2, ended up in 5th position. But very close between all these competitors. Everyone crossing the line.
There he is, your world champion, Rai Taguchi.
He's always kind of going to be right there in that gold medal contention spot, and he has done it for Team Japan.
The depth of field in that team is just incredible. I mean, Team Japan, they train so hard. They're so disciplined. Every year they keep coming back stronger and stronger, and it's really great to see the discipline and the dedication and the champions that are coming from Japan in standard paddling.
It certainly is. Yeah, Japan, a very strong team the last few years. As you said, Candice is getting stronger and stronger, even in the SUP surfing field too, both in the men and women's.
With 4 buoys to
Rai
clear.
Taguchi, the winner there. Casper Steinfarth on screen, just to the right-hand side there. He'll be stoked on Christian's performance there. As we take a look at their final recap. Great start from everyone, Candice.
Yeah, and interesting to see where is Rai did have a pretty good start, but we know Christian Andersen was out in front throughout that first half, and like we've said before, the paddler that's leaded has not necessarily been the paddler that's won any of these heats in the SUP preliminaries and now for the final. Aaron Sanchez, though, had a really strong race the entire time, held that 2nd position.
So yeah, you can see here, Rai Taguchi not even in that top 4 conversation.
And that pack had a really solid lead on the chase group, but there you have Rai coming back from a couple falls, and he brought the rest of the pack up, and he, what do they say? The cream rises to the top, and Rai Taguchi certainly did in this final. He had to work really, really hard in a short distance to get himself into that front position.
Here you can see there's Aaron Sanchez, just takes a fall there. Rai Taguchi crossing around the flag run there in that 5th spot. but he's done very well on this back straight, Candace. He really put the hard work in to get ahead.
Absolutely, with great turns, really smart paddling. There was a few falls around these buoys from different paddlers. I mean, it's really difficult to...
I think Rai even fell off on one of the buoy turns.
Yeah, he did.
There. Rai Taguchi, though, on that buoy turn, getting well out in front of Aaron Sanchez and Ricardo Rossi. This was the final lap coming in to crown the medalists. You can see that pack just behind, though, always super close. Could have been anyone's race.
Yeah, I mean, any 12 of these gentlemen, 12 of them could have taken the gold, but it was Rai Taguchi from Team Japan rising to the top here, raising the flag. Not raising the flag. He'll be raising the flag later today on the podium or at the end of the week.
So we'll let you know that these results are unofficial. As of now, we have some of the judges reviewing some of the buoy turns out there, some of the priority going into it. So we will bring you the official results as soon as we do have them. But what a fantastic race from all of our men's SUP Tech competitors. It was just a fantastic start and finish to that in the beautiful city of Copenhagen in Denmark, the host of this year's 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. This is the beach venue, Candace, where we've seen the tech race happening the first few days of competition. We're going to be moving back to the city venue later on. Fantastic venue right in the city centre, next to the library here. They'll be racing through the canals of Copenhagen.
Yeah, we still have 1 day down at the beach here. 1 day, 2 days?
Yeah, one more day of the team relay. Then we go and have a break on Friday. Then we're going to be back with the distance race on Saturday and the SUP sprints finishing off on the city venue on Sunday. So a lot more to happen here. And make sure you do stay tuned to ISAsurf.org. We've got a lot more action coming up throughout the week. Candace, talk us through a little bit about some of these competitors competing in both in all the three disciplines, the tech race, the distance, and the sprint. What's going through their minds? How do they prepare for such a big week ahead?
Yeah, I think a lot of these athletes, they run one race at a time, but those that are doing multiple, you have to make sure that you recover, you get enough nutrition and rest in between. I was just thinking about those athletes that are doing the sprint at the end of the week after doing technical and distance. They're going to be feeling it, but at least it's a sprint. It's about a minute long. So
that's right, exactly. But especially after the 13-kilometer distance race on the Saturday, going straight into sprint for some of those competitors, it's going to be really tough. But we've already had a great day of action. We've been crowning the gold medalists in the junior SUP for the boys and girls this morning. Also, we crowned the prone men's and women's champion too. We just had the men's tech race. We're going to be bringing you the official results. As we said, judges reviewing some of the buoy turns that happened there with priority. So we're going to bring you those results as soon as we do have them. We still have the women's SUP tech race to come after this. Make sure you do join us online. ISAsurf.org. Head to Instagram, ISASUPOK. That's where you can find some of the live stories, a lot of the Instagram action coming from the beach. And do check out YouTube, X as it's now called, Facebook. And big thanks to our partners as well, Danish Endurance, Volkswagen, and of course the host this year, ISA Surf in Copenhagen, Denmark.
And we've also got a new ISA Instagram page, ISA SUP OK. You can follow for all the action from this week, from the World Stand-Up Paddle and Prone Championships. We've got some spectators there on the bridge. Really get to be a part of the action.
Yeah, you see that kind of from, I think it's number 5 to number 6 buoy turn. It's right next to that pier. So a lot of the spectators sitting on there, getting a great angle of all the competitors passing through. Another fantastic shot of our beach venue. And we are going to have a little bit of a...
Yeah, reviewing some of the buoy turns. I know that there were some that were kind of close, so they're making sure that all the places are secured. I know there were some buoys that they were side by side. There's a lot of rules. The judges really are doing a great job paying attention to every single competitor on every single turn. So it's important. It's the integrity of the sport, right?
Exactly, yeah. They're videoing every turn as well, so they can have that video replay. As we take a look at the schedule for the week, we're taking you through it. So today we are finishing with the Tech Racing Women's event for the SUP. Tomorrow is going to be the team relay down here at the beach venue again, Amagerstrand Beach Park here in Copenhagen, not too far from the city centre. Then we're going to have a break on Friday, coming back on September 21st on the Saturday to bring you the long distance race. Of course, lots of stuff happening around the event as well. Come on down to the city venue. You'll be able to get involved with the mass participation event. Try and get a lot of paddlers out there on the water. There's some SUP yoga happening, Candice. There's lots of different things happening throughout the week.
There's lots of different things happening. It's really neat to be here in this city, Copenhagen. They really pride themselves in being a city that works with nature for sport, right? Everywhere I go, I see fit people, people riding their bikes, people on the water, paddling or running or heading into the gym. And it's a really neat thing to be here in this city where they're just so environmentally conscious and health conscious as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Everyone walking around the city on bikes as well. We have over 180 athletes competing here, 41 nations. 8 new nations have joined this year for the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. That's Latvia, Lebanon, Norway, Scotland, Senegal, Slovakia, South Korea and Thailand. Great to see a lot of representation from a lot of countries around the world. Candice, yourself, as a past gold medalist, multiple gold medalists in all of these races. What's it like to see some of these new nations coming up? Have you visited those nations, or do you know some of the paddlers coming out of the countries?
It's really neat to see the diversity, right? And there's lots of nations that are coming in for paddling that don't necessarily have surfing, right? So they're being able to participate in a board sport on the water where there is no waves. So that's the great thing about stand-up paddling and traditional prone paddling is you don't have to have waves. I think that's why the sport has grown so much, because you can be at any stage of athleticism or just be a regular average person and get on a stand-up paddleboard and enjoy the water. So I think that's why we're seeing some of these new nations getting into the sport and then increasing their abilities and coming here for this competition.
Yeah, exactly. We saw Chilag Koshis from Hungary take the win in the junior SUP girls tech race today. So yeah, a fantastic showing from her as well. It is fantastic to see so many of these countries getting into the sport of stand-up paddling. It's so accessible for people on any body of water, really.
Yeah.
So,
and really exciting to see England take their first gold medal today in the men's prone paddleboarding. That was a really inspiring performance.
Yeah, Andrew Byatt there from England taking the win there. We had Judith Verges in the women's prone as well. And then we also had Kotaro Miyahita from Japan taking the win in the junior boys tech race this morning. We're going to throw it back to the first day, Candice, during the opening ceremony and the Parade of Nations, where all of our athletes were walking through the streets of Copenhagen, representing their countries, and then joining for the opening ceremony where they were pouring their country's sand into the box there. They're all mixed. It's just such a fantastic part of what the ISA does to bring all the nations together to represent their country.
Yeah, it's a really special thing to be a part of as an athlete. You get, especially if it's your first time here, you get that team country representation feel, and it's all the pride and the emotion starts to well up. So we're going to show you some footage from that opening ceremonies. Oh, we actually have some results coming up. So they've been able to go through some of the footage, and here we have our official results. So it is Rai Taguchi taking the gold, Aaron Sanchez in silver, Riccardo Rossi from Italy in third, and Clement Comas in fourth position. And we're going to go to an interview with our new world championship champion in a moment here.
That's right. So you see the competitors there. Eritz Norio, so he finished quite high up in the field, but looked like he has been pushed back down into that last position there. So I think a little bit of an interference happening there for Eri from Brazil. Unfortunate for him. I think he finished around that 6th or 7th place earlier on in the rankings.
And I'm sure we'll have more information about that.
Definitely will. Make sure you can check out all of the recaps, action, ISA SUP OK Instagram, isasurf.org. And we're going to go to a short break before we bring you the interview with the winner of the men's SUP Tech race. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay tuned wherever you're watching from. We'll see you very soon after this short commercial break.
I Rema 1000 handler sundhed ikke kun om mad, men også om at bakke op om trivsel, fællesskaber og mental sundhed.
Morning. Can we ride to school with you? My dad's lost his car keys.
Our parents overslept. I've got a flat tyre.
Yeah, sure. Morning. Could I ride with you? My driveway is totally blocked. Yeah, sure.
More space for joy. The ID Buzz GTX with up to 7 seats.
Volkswagen.
Hey, what's up, everyone? We're here at the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship in Copenhagen. This is the opening ceremony. This is Team Denmark. Welcome to Copenhagen.
I would like to thank you everybody for coming to beautiful Denmark and going to spend these amazing days. The ISA SUP and Paddleboard World Surfing Championships. SUP racing and SUP in general is part of the Olympic Games as it deserves to be. Thank you everybody, enjoy the competition, and have a good time.
Welcome back to the 2024 ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. You are looking at the women's SUP Tech race getting ready on the line. But before we start that race, we're going to throw it down to Emily on the beach with the winner of the men's SUP Tech race, Rai Taguchi.
Bo, I am down here with the winner of the SUP Tech race, Rai Taguchi. You are the new world champion. Can you just say a few words about that amazing race? You came all the way from the back and then you just took it in the end.
I'm very happy because I got the gold medal and start and the first buoy maybe very late and I many times miss, but I come back to get the gold medal. I'm very happy. Yes.
And as you said, you actually also fall in the water at some point. Like, how did you keep the motivation and keep believing that you're going to get this gold medal?
Because this race is a technical race, and many turns and need technique. And some people, if top paddler mistake, I change the place, and this is always mine. Never give up. Always mine. This is mine, and but today is very happy.
That's so great to see. Yeah, as you said, you're such a good technical racer, so you really knew that you had it and that you could go all the way, even though you were down in like 6th position at some point. So that was amazing to see. And this is the second medal for Team Japan today, second gold medal. Yes. How is the vibe on the team?
Yes, this year team is very good team, and all Japan team is a grow up, and yes, now to get the medal, and after race get the more medal. Yes.
And you just, while we were waiting to give the interview here before, you just told me this was just 1 of 4. You have 3 more races this week, and your goal is 4 gold medals. So how are you gonna go and rest and prepare for the next one now?
Yeah, tomorrow is a team relay. We are never give up mine and get the gold medal. And I have the 3 more race. And team relay, long distance, sprint, I get the all gold medal.
Well, we're really excited to see you this week, and let's see if we meet here again. I hope so. And congratulations. Do you want to say a few words in Japanese?
Yes. 本当皆さんありがとうございました。本当に世界チャンピオンになるのが夢でずっと今年じゃないずっとはい頑張ってきました。やっと取れて本当に良かったです。今日も遅い時間まで、あと多分かなりこけたりもしたんでヒヤヒヤしたかと思うんですけど、ちゃんと金メダル有言実行で取ることができました。これもチームジャパンはじめいつもスポンサーしていただいている各スポンサーの方々のおかげで、あとはファンクラブの皆さんやいつも応援してくれている家族、元気はじめさやとか海なぎみんなのおかげだと思っています。はい。でもまだまだまだレースが続くので皆さん寝不足かと思うんですが、最後まで応援よろしくお願いします。もっと金メダル量産したいと思います。はい、ありがとうございました。
Thank you so much, Rai, and congratulations again. Go enjoy the win with the team.
Thank you so much.
Quite an emotional Rai Taguchi there, Candice, giving us an interview. I haven't seen him that emotional to be winning that, a gold medal here. He's such a fantastic competitor. We really were impressed with how his performance was. As he said, he was sitting back in 8th place around that first buoy turn. He fell off twice in that as well. So it was a great comeback for Rai Taguchi to take the gold medal. It's been such an amazing day of action already. We had, obviously, Rai Taguchi taking the win there. Chile Koshis as well in the junior girls had a couple of falls, but managed to come back as well. So that's just her determination, bringing it back in. Beautiful day of racing today. No wind at all on the course today, so competitors having to deal with that flat water conditions. The sun's come out. It was a bit foggy at the start this morning, Candice. It was a bit cold down on the beach too with the wind.
Yeah, and here we go. We got the women. They're getting ready to get started. They are on the line. This is going to be a great women's final. They're all boards in their hands, ready to get started. They've been waiting patiently. And here they are. Women's technical SUP final off. Everyone is to their feet. Nice, clean start.
Very strong start by all women here. As we see a few of them starting to break away out into that lead pack. I mean, some big names to look out for in this race. Esperanza Barreras from Spain, Mari Carmen Rivera from Puerto Rico, Melanie Lafreniere from France, Duna Gordillo as well from Spain, Riko Kawaki, Alma Caleta. I mean, the names just go on. The list goes on and on and on. The women are going to be battling it out for the gold medal today here in the technical race.
And we've got about four paddlers out in front right now. Our whole shot paddler, she's got a little bit of space to her left for giving herself room for possibly a clean turn. She's got somebody on her tail.
Yeah, Melanie Lafreniere there, I think, moving into just behind her on that 425 board. It looks like we've got Duna on the left of her as well. So everyone's starting to converge now, getting really tight. I think there's going to be some contact there at the start. There is some people unable to put the paddle in the water. So So these women here getting very close to coming to the first buoy turn. As we see, we'll get a good glimpse of our leaders here.
And that's our Brazilian paddler, Jessica Matos. First to the buoy. She had a great heat yesterday. And we have a couple paddlers getting hung up on each other, and she's got a little bit of a separation from her and the rest of the pack, so a really great start for her. One of the newer names I've been seeing in these ISA competitions, so she's got a nice smooth stroke, got maybe a board length, half a board length. This is a good perspective. You can see Duna working hard on the NSP, Esperanza right behind her.
That looks like
and just to the left of her,
Guimarães from France next to her. So they are top 4 in the medalist positions at the moment.
You got Soren Preston battling for 5th and 6th position, and Marie Carmen right coming up. She got maybe stuck a little bit on the start. She was on the outside of that first turn. So we'll see how things shake out on this second turn. But our Brazilian paddler really putting in a lot of work off the start. Duna right on her draft. Esperanza. Marie Carmen there. Got Melanie Soren. Seychelles. Here we go, coming into this second turn.
I mean, you've got the top women athletes in the world competing here in this tech race. They're all very close together.
You can see them all taking their breaths while they get this go for this turn. Esperanza just getting a little bit stuck there. Sometimes if you come too close to the buoy on that turn, you can get pinched by everybody else. There we go. We've got lots of board. Ooh, we got a board in between the legs there. And we got wow, what a great shot. You can really see how shallow the water is. Very clear. Beautiful shot here.
That's a fantastic drone angle.
A little bit of a separation from that front big pack. It's Seychelles from the United States. There we got
Rika Okawaki there.
Yeah.
Next to Soren Preston.
Right in front of her is Marie Carmen.
Melanie Lafrenette as well in that pack as they're all going into this buoy turn together, Candace. Very close, congested.
Ooh, and we got a little nice recovery there from Jessica.
As we just making sure everyone is still on their boards after that buoy turn. So a little bit of a mix-up there from a lot of the competitors, especially from Espray. Some great footage being brought to you from the ISA team as we see, looks like Duna now getting out in front.
Yeah, Duna's really pushing hard. That was an interesting last turn because it did look like maybe Duna's board got a little bit stuck on the top of Jessica's tail, and it caused her to have a few bobbles back. So that's going to be an interesting, interesting call. Let's see. So Duna got a nice glide there. She does have a few board lengths, so she's going to be pushing really hard to continue to try to break away from this pack. Let's see if she's going to be able to hold it. That's a long race to keep that hungry pack off, so we'll see what happens here.
A little bit of congestion there. Lara Nitti on that infinity board, holding up the pack a little bit at the back there.
Looks like Esperanza maybe there, working her way to try to chase Duna down. She's getting a nice wide grip on her stroke. She's got a lot of power. She knows how to put the power down, make her board glide. Marie Carmen coming up right there in 3rd position behind Esperanza.
And
Melanie working her way up in the pack. So these girls are staying patient. They know anything can happen in a technical race. And this next backstretch, this long stretch, is going to be interesting to see what happens. I bet Duna is going to try her best to do a really quick turn, take some really hard strokes to get out in front and stay out in front. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, she's quick back on the board there, up into the middle there to get nice strong paddles in.
Getting just a little bit hung up there on the turn. I bet Marie Carmen's going to really put in the afterburners here a little bit too.
Soren Preston doing really well in this race.
She just came off of the juniors race, bronze medal. Here we go. We got Marie Carmen pushing hard. Esperanza, they're going to work really hard to try to reel Duna in and not let her run away with this too soon.
2 Spanish competitors out in front at the moment in the gold and silver medal positions. Duna and Espe always going tit for tat in these races, swapping gold and silver medals in the previous couple of years. Mara Carmen is really going to chase them down, as is Anai from France, just behind them in 4th place.
And you can see this gap is getting a little bit closer. So I have a feeling maybe after this next turn, we'll see if they're able to connect back with Duna here. She knows that she's being chased, but she, for as young as she is, she has a lot of experience in racing.
Look at the conditions out there, Candice. Just pure glass on the water.
Like butter.
Certainly is, making it quite easy for these competitors.
And Anai doing a really good job catching up. Melanie coming around, Soren coming around. So these packs are starting to slowly meet back up.
Looks like Seychelles and Rika Okuwaki from Japan there, just behind them. Jessica now really fallen off the pace she was leading this race.
She put in a lot of work. But like we've seen in every other heat, the paddler out in front has not been the winner at the end of the race. So it's interesting. Spend a lot of energy to get to that first buoy. In technical racing, it's really important that you keep your cool throughout every single turn. You don't want to let up. You don't want to give up. Like Rai Taguchi said, never give up. And he's doing every other race we have this week. So you can never count him out, whatever position he's in. Duna getting some really good strokes after that turn. She still has a nice board length ahead. Looks like Marie Carmen is challenging Esperanza, coming up to the side of her.
Yeah, trying to get in front into, trying a bit more priority position going into this next buoy turn. Duna here, nice controlled turn. That was a fantastic buoy turn from Duna.
Yeah, these 3 gals actually they've all trained together. They've raced together all summer. So they know what each other's capable of. They have tremendous amount of respect for each other. We have Anai coming around in 4th position. Melanie, her teammate.
Seychelles done a bit of work.
Yeah, Seychelles been working her way up. Seychelles and Soren, followed by Rika.
That's right. So as we said, Jessica's fallen off the pace a bit more.
Smooth turns there from Espe.
Mara Carmen, a little bit of a bobble there.
Slight bobble. She took the paddle way past the tail of the board. So sometimes when you do that, you put yourself in a position that's a little bit dangerous. Really smooth turns from Melanie. Nice work from Seychelles. And then we got 2 paddlers here, side by side, Soren and Rika. Sometimes it's hard to be the inside paddler, and when you have to do a pivot turn like that, you can't get your paddle in the water, and you could see Soren had to reach to the other side of Rika's board in order to take a stroke. Here we go. And Duna, she is showing some great skills on her turns, being ambidextrous on her turns. So she's pivot turning everything, which is takes a lot of practice to be able to do that. And she still has that board length. So we'll see what happens as they come in for this flag run.
So your top 3 women competitors there coming in for that flag run, as you mentioned, Candice. Anai in that 4th position there. Looks like she's got a little bit of work to do to catch up to this lead pack. But Duna's going to want to get a quick start around this flag run as they're on their 2nd lap at the moment. 3 laps of this 3-kilometer course coming in for the beach flag run.
This is where you want to get a really, really good skim here for the re-entry. See if you can get a board length or 2. You can see Duna, she's working hard. Espe's going to work hard. She doesn't want to let her get away. This is a great drone shot here. Marie Carmen working really hard to make sure these 2 do not pull away. And I think she's going to be able to get back on this draft here.
Yeah,
and this is where you settle in. If you're in the 2nd or 3rd position, you're going to settle in right here for a second. You're going to catch your breath and then really try to push on that outside leg. Here we go. We got there's Jessica from Brazil coming around. She had a great start. Was leading the pack for the first lap. Yeah, you can see some chop that they're working through from the paddlers coming from the other direction.
Yeah, a lot of movement on the water there. A lot of wake being created from all of these boards out there at the moment.
When you have a tight turn, and you, even if you're out in front, you have a tight turn, when you come around that buoy, you have your own wake to deal with from when you went into the buoy. So those are things that are important to anticipate.
Yeah, you can see the wake there definitely coming into play, especially for Espe and Mara Carmen from other competitors. They do well there. This is where, Candice, you see the competitors start to break away a little bit.
Yeah, we have a little bit more of a separation from the top pack now. Got about 6-7 board lengths. Anai from France is working hard to try to catch up with that pack. And Duna, she is not letting off the gas. She does know how to paddle and be chased. You know, sometimes can be scary to be out in front. You don't know how hard do I push? Do I take any off? Because I know that they're drafting me, but it looks like she wants to keep this front position going into every turn. You can see that Espe is taking some little bit like shorter strokes than how she usually paddles, so she's doing enough to stay in the draft. Marie Carmen's rate is a little bit slower.
As we see
on
on
Esperanza, second place. And she is a multiple-time gold medalist. I know that she's eyeing gold in this.
Yeah, trying to go back to back.
Go head-to-head a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Espe took the win last year. Duna the win the year before that. So these two.
I notice on the turns, Espe's turns, she's not going super far back on the tail, but she's really utilizing her paddle to manipulate the water to get the board to turn. And that allows her to not have to run too far back up the board. Each time Marie Carmen is turning, she's going really far back on the tail, so she has another step or two that she needs to take. And her board is coming, the nose comes up a little bit more, so it slows the board down even more. So she's able to do a sharper turn off the tail, but she has to run back up and get her board speed back up. So different techniques from each of these paddlers, but I've noticed each time Marie Carmen has to really get in some hard strokes to catch back up to Espe.
Yeah, we'll see it closely here as well on this next buoy turn as well. So Duna coming around. Again, switching the feet. Amazing how she can do that.
Pivot turn, quick run up. Esperanza using a little bit of a sweep stroke to come back up and run up the board.
So it looks like Soren Preston maybe falling off the pace a little bit. We see Anai there from France going around. Melanie Lafrenette from France. Then we've got Rika Okawaki and Seychelles. As we take a look at your current leaders in the women's SUP technical race final.
So far, a clean run from these top three. It looks like Espe did get around that buoy a little bit quicker, but Duna is maybe giving herself a little bit of separation. It's hard to see here. You know, she knows what those women are capable of behind her. So she does have a little bit, maybe half of a board length. Tiny little bobble there from Espe, but recovering quickly.
As they're going to start lap 3, their final lap of this race. The top 3 really breaking away from your 4th place competitor, Anai Guilmarche from France. As it's a fantastic drone shot. As you see Duna, Espe, and also Marie Carmen Rivera from Puerto Rico in that 3rd spot now. Going to turn around this buoy, head back in toward the beach. Duna, very controlled turn. Espe there doing that crossbow turn to get around that buoy turn. As we see Marie Carmen there having to step on the gas to keep up with Espe. Espe is now falling off the pace a little bit from Duna.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for Duna to try to break away, but Espe is really strong, and she's been on the draft for a good portion of this race, so she does probably have a little bit of energy. She also has the confidence from all of her gold medals that she holds, and she knows that she's the veteran. And Duna knows it too, so you can see her stroke. She's really hungry, choking down on her paddle a little bit there. I like how she puts her hands down on the rail. Rather than just hopping off the board, she puts her hands down on the rail and then hops out of the board. With her hands already on the rails, she's able to pick the board up, carry it around, and get back on the water quickly. Really great technique from these ladies, managing their equipment. How you manage your equipment, entering the water, exiting the water is really important. It can cost you a race. Got Melanie going around here. Nice skim, back up to her feet. She's using a flatter deck board.
Rika Okawaki in 6th place at the moment. Seychelles from the USA in 7th spot. Got a bit of work to do to catch up to the medal positions.
And they're going into their 3rd lap here. Espe and Marie Carmen, they're all really just really tight here. And you know that if I were Duna, I would be doing my very best to try to focus on what I have in front of me, which is no one, and not focus on what's behind me. But you know that she's thinking, okay, what's going to happen? Are they going to make a move? Are they going to try to go around me? She knows this backstretch right here. This is their best chance and their best opportunity to really try to push to change the lead position right here. So if anything's going to happen, I think it needs to happen now. But Duna is really pushing hard out of that turn. She's making these ladies work every single time. And so far, no position changes. We've got 1, 2, 3 more turns until we're crowning a champion.
Right. Yeah, crowning the gold medalist here. You can check out the live tracking, isasurf.org. You'll be able to see exactly where the competitors are on this race course. This is the final event of the day, the women's SUP technical race. Duna Gordillo currently out in front. Espe Paredes right behind her. The 2 Spanish competitors battling it out for gold and silver. But Mara Carmen from Puerto Rico in bronze medal position at the moment.
Duna knows that if she can make it around the next 2 buoys in the front position, that's the best. Then, you know, getting out of that last turn, it's yours. If you're going in the last turn in the lead, as long as you keep it clean, it's yours. So we're going to see what happens here. It's an exciting race. No surprise to see these 3 women out in front of the rest of the pack. They've been racing hard all summer long, racing each other in Europe, training hard, very disciplined. I follow them on social media. I see the way that they train, and it's very inspiring.
It's interesting to see they're not taking their separate lines. They're all staying just behind Duna there, conserving their energy, maybe trying to make a move toward the last 2 buoy turns before the sprint toward the beach.
I'm sure Duna's thinking, okay, I got to just get around this buoy clean and it's mine. Get around this buoy clean and it's mine. Let's see what happens here.
Must be a bit of pressure coming into these buoy turns.
Yeah. Here we go. 1 more turn into the finish.
We know that
Duna's
Espe
really upping the rate here.
Espe has to do a crossbow turn for this final one, where Duna has that ability to have that backside turn going into it.
We'll see what happens. Ponytails are flying. Duna's really, really working hard here. So is Marie Carmen. Espe looks pretty poised in that drafting position.
Duna Gordillo there, putting in strong paddles to make it toward the finish line here for the women's SUP technical race. She's currently in that gold medal position. Her
Breaking
teammate
away
behind her, Espe, in silver. But it looks like Duna Gordillo from Spain is going to take the win here, Candice.
Yeah, exciting day for her. And for the team implications, a gold and a silver for Team Spain. Incredible. These 2 go back and forth all the time. And in bronze, Marie Carmen. Great performances from these ladies. Well done, Duna. Congratulations. And we have coming in right here for the copper medal, our paddler from France, 4th and 5th place. Teammates from France. Here we go. We have Anai raising the flag. Her teammate Melanie coming across in 5th position. So this is great for points for France, taking a 4th and a 5th. We have Rika from Japan coming across in 6th place. Seychelles from the United States. I'm sure she's really happy with her 7th place. She's been coming back. She's a mom, representing for the moms out there. Well done. Soren, Preston, our bronze medalists in the junior girls race, coming across in 8th, and we have a battle, it looks like, for 9th place coming across there. Well done, Soren. We've got Italy coming across for 9th place.
Lisa and Alma there. Argentina also got Japan coming across the line. Jessica there, who started off really strong in this race, taking 12th position with her teammate Lena there, Ribeiro in 13th.
And I wonder if we're going to see Jessica in the sprint races, because you have some of these athletes that are specialists, so you'll see them get to that first buoy really quickly, because maybe sprinting is their discipline. And here we have Germany coming across. Tanya.
Great distance paddler Tanya Ecker is. As we see Lara Nitti from Italy crossing the line in 16th place. So that is your women's SUP technical race positions. Big congratulations to Team Spain. Duna Gordillo taking the gold, Espe Paredes taking silver.
There she is, your world champion, gold medalist. No stranger to the podium here at the ISA World Championships. And you know she's going to want to go for it again in the distance race.
Yeah, she's no stranger to podiums all around the world. Yep. Duna Gordillo from Spain. A fantastic day of racing we have had. As you see the women's results up on screen there. Team Spain, Puerto Rico, Mari-Carmen Rivera in 3rd place, and Anaïs Guimard from France taking the copper medal. Very close times as well between the top 3.
Yeah, incredible paddling from these ladies today. No mistakes. There she is, your champion. I wonder what she's thinking right now, though.
She doesn't look too happy, but I'm sure she's
still in the zone.
Super excited. She is, that's right. I mean, a lot of preparation goes into these events. That just kind of mental come down. Let's have a look at the recap of the women's tech race final. Quick start from all our competitors. We saw Jessica Matos from Brazil getting out in front very quickly. As you said, Candice, a great sprint racer there. Let's see if she's going to be able to back it up there as we see the competitors coming around. It was Duna Gordillo, though, that started to make a move on that first lap, started to get ahead. Espe Barreras just behind her in that 2nd place. And Mari-Carmen in 3rd there. And this was kind of how it went all the way to the end of the race.
Yep. We weren't sure if we were going to see any position changes, and we did not. Duna was able to hold her ground. She was really pressing hard out of every single turn, which is important. That's what you need to do. She had to make those gals work hard to catch back up to her every single time. When they're drafting you throughout the course of the race, you need to make them put in the work, right? So every time she came out of a turn, she really upped her rate, forcing Esperanza and Mari-Carmen to have to really sprint to catch up to her. And she was able to execute a clean race and come out on top.
They created a lot of distance between 4th place and 5th there. The French paddlers, Anaïs and Melanie, they weren't able to catch this lead pack. Duna kept that lead the whole way through. She said very controlled buoy turns from Duna.
I'm sure her coach, Lauda Quickglass, is watching proudly. She's been training Duna for many years. I mentioned yesterday I have a picture of Duna and I from a few years ago, and she's about waist high to me. And it's been really cool to see. She's been paddling since she was so young, and she still is so young, and she is now a multiple-time world champion of the ISAs. Well earned. Representing her country, her family, her team in Mallorca, and all of her sponsors. Paddling hard all the way to the finish. It's not over till you cross that finish line.
The smile on her face says it all.
You could see Espe there too, was smiling. I'm sure she's proud of her teammate as well.
Espe Paredes. And then Mari-Carmen crossing the line in that bronze position. Down here in the beautiful city of Copenhagen, Denmark. All the action happening down at the beach as we're going to go to Emily Utrup down on the beach with the gold medal winner, Duna Gordillo.
Yes, I am here with Duna. Duna, you are the new world champion in the tech race here for the women. That was an amazing race, and you just told me, I can't believe it. Just tell me all the feelings you're feeling right now.
Yeah, so what you say, I can't believe it because it's my first time winning the technical race, and in this elite, in the elite, I only win the long distance in Puerto Rico, and yes, I can't believe it. That is what I say.
And you were winning just in front of your teammate, Esperanza. How is you guys are teammates, but you're also competitors. How is the competition between you guys?
Yes, with Espe we always compete together, and at the final win who win. But yes, I like so much compete with Espe, and she's a strong woman.
And how did you prepare yourself for today, like mentally, physically, to to, stay strong out there and just keep believing that you're going to have this win?
Yes, in my mind, all this race is I have to win, and focus on that. Like I say in Puerto Rico, and I did it, and I'm so happy. Yes.
And you and Esperanza coming in first and second place is some great result from Team Spain as well. You guys are right now taking the lead in the team position. So can you just tell a little bit about what it is to be part of Team Spain and the vibe on the team?
For me, the Team Spain are always the best. We never win a World Cup, but I think this is the year because we start really, really well with Luis Perotti in junior, Alexia Soto, the same position, second, and I'm so happy for them. Also, Carlos Alonso, Judith, and my teammate Esperanza. So I think we can do it.
And now we're looking forward to the team rally tomorrow. I think that's going to be really cool to see all the teams together. What are you excited for tomorrow?
Wow, I am excited because the team relay is always so funny and I think we can do well too, but not my time. But yes, how do you say, supporting my team like always.
And how are you now going to go celebrate the win?
Always party, but at the final of this week.
That sounds like a good plan. So good luck and go enjoy the win with the team.
Thank you so much.
Do you want to say a few words in Spanish?
Bueno, que muchas gracias siempre a toda mi familia que está en España, a todos mis compañeros que seguro que me están viendo, de Mar Balear y que os quiero mucho.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love it. Always party, but wait to the end of the week. So she's excited. Before you said she didn't look happy. She was still in disbelief, right? So really exciting for her first gold medal, Duna. We've got a lot of action coming up tomorrow, including the team relay, which is kind of the heartbeat and the really bragging rights for this event. 4 disciplines, well, 2 disciplines. You're going to have the prone and you're going to have the SUP, both men and women. So 4 athletes representing for each team. It's going to be a lot of action tomorrow, so make sure to tune in for the team relay.
Yeah, and we've got Casper Steinfarth as well going to be competing in that team relay. His final event ever competing as a SUP athlete, so that is definitely going to be one to watch out for. Do tune into ISAsurf.org. Candice, what a day of racing we've had today for the tech racing, the juniors, the prone, and then the men and women to finish off the day. We've crowned a lot of champions today. You can go ahead to ISA website to check out all of those results. I just need to have a bit of a come down after today. It's been an absolute day of action. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like I've got some adrenaline. I'm going to have to go run it out.
We'll go for a swim in the canals around Copenhagen. It's beautiful, beautiful city to explore. We are going to be back tomorrow, as Candice said, with the team relay. We're also later on in the week taking a look at the distance races happening on Saturday, and then Sunday finishing off with the sprint racing, and then the closing ceremony as well. So wherever all of the athletes can celebrate the week that's been here at the ISA World SUP and Paddleboard Championship. Thanks very much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, and we'll see you then.
To school with you. My dad's lost his car keys.
Our parents overslept. I've got a flat tyre.
Yeah, sure. Morning. Could I ride with you? My driveway is totally blocked. Yeah, sure.
More space for joy. The ID Buzz GTX with up to 7 seats.
Volkswagen.